The triumphant return from the land of sky blue waters. It's Jesse Wheeler reporting in to Pop Goulash. Went to see the Foo Fighters last night at the XL Energy Center in St. Paul, Minnesota. The final scheduled gig on their Concrete and Gold tour. Dave pulled out all the stops, blew out his voice pretty much early on, and then really blew it out when he finished out the show with Best of You. 3+ hours, folks. I'm feeling it this morning. Had to be into work by 7 a.m. Got home about 1 a.m. But it was good. He started out the set with about 4 songs off Concrete and Gold and then went into their golden catalog of hits. It was a triumphant show. 6th one for yours truly, and the first one for my godson, whom I took with me. So, other than that, not a whole hell of a lot going on up here. It's weather by Sybil. Had 75 degrees yesterday, and a whopping 50 degrees today. It is fall in the upper Midwest here, ladies and germs, but other than that, it is what it is. Jesse signing in and signing off from the land of sky blue waters for Pop Goulash. Peace, bitches.
On your ear goggles, bitches. It's time for some Pop Goulash. I'm Ruben, and today I got a return of one of my favorite artists.
Thank you.
Mr. Leo Perez.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
I was looking around like, who the fuck is this favorite artist?
And not only that, I have someone super famous from my past in the studio tonight. I have a Beatle in my house.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. John Lennon. How you doing, John?
Oh. Just imagine all the people.
It makes me so happy that he did that because you hate it so much.
I know.
I got patter, man. I can deal with it. I've only been living a fucking joke of a life for 36 years.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, with Reuben Hood, I mean, come on. Like, I understand, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's. I actually wasn't sure that was your real name, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah, that's right. I never thought of
Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And every time I get it, they're like, dude, it's like Robin Hood. I'm like, no, I haven't heard that for 40 years. Thanks.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
Man. It's like, I knew a dude named Quinn, and this girl walked up to him and be like, hi, Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. He's like, I fucking heard that my whole life. And like,
you couldn't even get creative like the Bob Marley, you know, like the Mighty Quinn. Yeah. No, you got to go straight for the...
right, and then like I
just
remember just looking at this girl and she was just like so sad because she thought it was really clever, and I'm like, you're dumb.
Yeah, no, everyone thinks it's clever, man. Yeah. Just John Lennon, man. My parents are fucks. Like,
well, at least it wasn't John.
Yeah, but no, you don't hear. You don't hear the letters.
Yeah, it's not John.
Yeah,
I think it's worse that your name is Jon John. Like, well, how
they were lazy as hell. Like. They didn't even spell John right.
That's funny. A buddy of mine from back in the day, his name is John, and he spells it Jon.
Yeah.
And if you spell it John, he gets all uptight about it. He's like, it's Jon. That's the biblical spelling. I'm like, dude, you're an atheist. What do you even care?
Right. It's not worth getting uptight about, but it's still like, if it's on anything official, I get pissed off.
Right.
Your name gets misspelled a lot, though.
Yeah.
Jon is just almost like rote.
Right. But even his last name, it wanted to show that.
At a comic show I went to, they had the placard out, and it was for John with an H, okay, Lemon.
Oh,
like
awesome.
I'm like, you didn't even notice that it's John Lennon. You wrote John Lemon. What the fuck?
Well, maybe they think, maybe they're just like, this guy's going to be a sourpuss about it, so we're going to change it to Lemon.
They're not wrong, but it's like, God. It's just everyone like is lazy fucks. That's
well, yeah, for sure, totally. So yeah, this week is the week that I'm putting this up is going to be Halloween.
Nice.
So when I approached Leo about being on the show, he's like, "Oh, dude." Well, first he asked, "Can John come?" I'm like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "Can we talk about spooky shit?" I'm like, "We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about."
Yeah, man.
Okay, cool.
So, what y'all got?
Well,
show me what you got.
You want me to go first?
Sure, man.
Well,
lead me. I literally didn't know why I was here. So.
Well, you're here for emotional support.
I got you, man. Let me cup them balls.
Hey, thank you.
Oh, you're his emotional support dog.
No, man, I do notice that like your neighborhood is a little spooky though.
Well, it's Hispanic, but I mean, I wouldn't call that spooky.
That's
there are 0 lights on my street whatsoever.
That's like my neighborhood's like that.
Are all suburban?
No, just this. No,
is this unincorporated?
No, this is like proper.
It's just hood. Okay.
Yeah.
It was Hanover Park. So.
Well, this was, from what I hear, the street that I live on is like it was the main street for, when they incorporated the town, but the town's been around for 60 years.
Yeah.
They just had their big 60-year celebration this year, so.
They just don't give a fuck about the lights.
No, and I've only got sidewalks on the other side of the street, so I'm like,
that is weird.
Dude, I hate that. Like, I'm like, put in a fucking sidewalk. I don't want kids, for one, I don't want to have to cross the street to walk down the street.
Right.
And I got kids. I don't want to have to, like, push a stroller in the street just to cross the fucking street. Give me a goddamn fucking...
Yeah. And see, everybody likes to talk shit about Elgin, but we have Elgin.
At least you got sidewalks.
We have a lot of sidewalks.
Yeah.
And we have sidewalks that lead all the way down to downtown.
Right.
So like when I'm riding my bike, I'll usually go I can go everywhere. The only thing that's killer, we have awful hills. Our hills are fucking.
Well, yeah, you're right on the river though.
Our elevation, like my elevation, I'll use my Strava. It'll be like 125 feet of elevation. I'm like, fuck that. Yeah.
That's funny.
But the cool thing now is that when I booty dance, I got a nice little strong booty now.
Oh, that's great, man! And what white kid did you steal that bike from?
Dude, I wondered what happened to my bike in 5th grade.
I went back in time and stole it.
Right.
Oh,
Leo would have been like 5.
I was probably stealing bikes when I was 5. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's fun.
I did.
He grew up in the city.
That's true. I'm from the suburbs, man. I don't know about stuff.
Dude, and seriously, like, you couldn't get any more milquetoast than Batavia.
Yeah,
like,
I'm from Batavia. I like this beautiful upper middle class white suburb.
Yep.
And
like, it actually glowed when Michael came, or when John came down in the basement. It, like, there was, I almost didn't even have to turn on a light. It just illuminated
like
the space.
my privilege of like.
Oh, well, but actually, once he walked into the studio, he checked it at the door, so I did have to put on the light.
Nice. Oh shit, man. Well, I could appreciate like the spooky neighborhoods, man. It reminds me of fucking Elm Street, shit like that. Man.
Well, that was the one thing we didn't realize until like the second day we were moved in was like there's well, yeah, like you move in, like you don't go outside because you're busy packing, and then you realize that you need something. So you go down to the store, and next thing you know, when you come back, you're like, "Oh well, fuck! There's no lights on my street."
Yeah.
Tom, who does the Netflix and chill episodes with me, he passes by my house almost every fucking time we record because he's like, "I can't find your house," and if he can't see the massive, was the big Hummer out there next door?
No, but I used Google Maps, and I was able to find it.
But there's usually a massive Hummer next door, and like. He's like, if I can't see the Hummer, I just drive by the house. I'm like, I get it, dude. It sucks. So.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, like, I guess what I'd like to talk about is I know that we're currently working on bringing another Product of Society out.
Yeah, it's an anthology comic that we used to do back in the day.
And, I think what really helped inspire us to do it was, I mean, at least me, because we weren't going to do anthologies anymore. Was scratches, at least to me.
Yeah. Did you talk about scratches the last time you were here?
Maybe I didn't.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. Yeah, talk about scratches.
So Leo and I, to give us cred, why we're here for Halloween episode,
right,
is that we made a horror comic book that we successfully funded on Kickstarter 2 years back.
Yeah.
We got a boy named Jamie who writes horror comics and. We did a little anthology called Scratches
at the Simon Corporation.
And whatever. And like he doesn't need that kind of shout out.
Right.
He's probably too stoned to listen to this. Probably.
He's like, Pop Goulash. What the fuck is that?
I can't smoke that.
But he'd be pissed we said that.
Oh, he'll be fine.
Okay. So anyway,
that would actually have been me when probably the first time John ever met me. Because not to derade from this, but
how dare you interrupt me on your own podcast,
well,
sir?
Welcome to the show. But no, I actually met John like 20 odd years ago at Kiss the Sky, the record store that I used to work at, and John came in, and of course the first time he came in, I signed him up for the frequent buyer program, and I'm like, John Lennon, huh? Well, I bet you never heard about that before.
Oh, boy.
And he's like, "Fuck you, Reuben Hood."
Dude, that was a long time ago because that's when I. Sorry, we'll get back to what we do.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm just saying. Okay, so like, it's like probably 1998.
Yeah.
1999.
98, 97, 98,
yeah. So like, we were talking about in my life, that's when I would have been like working at either Office Max or a movie theater.
Yeah, I think you were at the theater at that time.
Making like $90 a week.
Right.
And somehow I'm like, I need to spend $15 on a CD, and knowing me, I was getting 2 or 3.
Right.
I'm just like, and now it was one of those things. I love fucking music.
Yeah.
I don't buy any music now. I just listen to shit on YouTube. Like.
See, and that's the thing that, like, maybe it's a generational
Yeah.
thing, and I know I'm not that much older than you
No,
are,
no.
but, like, people are like, oh, yeah, listen to my music on YouTube. I'm like, what the fuck is a YouTube? Like, I'm like, how do you people listen to music on YouTube? I don't get it.
I was a really slow adopter, right? Like, I'll tell you the honest God truth, like, I was still buying, like, albums of bands that I knew I loved, like, up till, like, 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got in a serious relationship, had no money, and then it stopped.
Well, that's what happens.
Like, and then that's like,
just wait until you have kids. You're going to be like, can I afford the internet this month?
Right. No, man, like, I buy Apple Music every month.
Yep.
$15 a month, and I...
15?
The family plan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's always worth it.
Yeah,
it's totally worth it.
Totally.
Because you get all the new music right away, and I love it. So.
Right.
I mostly just listen to the Requiem of a Dream soundtrack over and over again.
Cut yourself.
Yeah.
Ass to ass. Ass to ass.
Yeah.
But,
dude, that's like Aronofsky is one of those brilliant directors that I can only watch his movies once.
Right.
Speaking of horror movies, I don't know why the fuck that's not like in the top 20 of any fucking...
For which one, Mother?
No, fucking Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Like, that movie
It's
fucking
not traditional
terrifies
horror.
me more than any fucking movie that
that's
I
just
see.
a bummer movie.
It is a bummer,
dude.
but it's also, like, horrifying.
Yeah,
Because,
it is.
It just shows, like, people just fucking going down a downward spiral.
Yeah.
Of
All of
drugs
his
and
movies
fucking
are
awfulness.
just downward spiral
They
movies.
They are, man.
Like, every single one of them is about some type of obsession one way or the other.
Yep.
Right.
You know,
Noah or whatever.
So, when I first saw Requiem for a Dream, I was in art school, of course. And we all needed to go see that movie because we're
in art school.
Right, because we're hoity-toity fucking art kids. So I actually took a girl on a date to go see that movie.
Oh, God.
And then nothing happened afterwards
Obviously.
because I was so fucking dead inside after fucking like watching that old lady fucking like crumble.
Dude,
and
that
was Jennifer. What's her name?
Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly
Sweet,
fucking like get ass to ass and some old man screaming in her face, and the older black guy making her suck his dick.
I had seriously
Go suck itself.
Yeah.
I
Oh God.
the same thing almost where like fucking like me and like a couple 3-4 friends were like heard Requiem for a Dream was this really visually dope movie and
Yeah.
like, let's get baked and watch this. And it was like 2 p.m. or something on Saturday. And we were gonna had the whole like we're gonna watch this dope movie, we're gonna get baked, then we're gonna like party tonight.
And then you're looking at the joint like
the movie ended and we were all just depressed, and I ended up just being like, I'm just gonna go home. Like,
Go
I
home.
don't want to hang out anymore, guys. I'm done. Like,
I'm gonna go home and beat my dick with a fucking with a meat mallet.
why?
Fuck, dude, I'm telling you, like, no movie fucking bothers me to this day more than fucking Requiem.
Requiem was a tough
It's
watch.
It's that old lady, man.
Yeah,
gets
that
me.
seriously
It
every
is-
time
it's the
because
old
she
lady.
was the one that wanted
Yeah.
like
Like, I
everybody
could deal
else.
with addicts, but
Yeah,
that
everybody
old
else
lady-
had their own drug
Yeah.
problems, but all she wanted was to be on her favorite show.
Right.
It was the only thing she ever wanted to do, and
to
I
have
wanted
the
to.
love of her son.
No, yep.
Yeah.
He was too dead inside.
Did too. Fucking
Oh.
And now he's
out.
the Joker,
Oh, fuck.
gangsta Joker.
Oh man.
But like the thing that I can only watch an Aronofsky. I think the only movie that he's ever done that I've watched more than once is
Pie.
No, Pie was good though. No,
Yeah.
it was the one with Hugh Jackman.
Oh, The Fountain.
The Fountain.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was a good movie.
that was good.
Yeah,
Again,
fast forward through the parts where the wife's dying, but the
Yeah.
rest of it's dope.
but then again, like he's obsessed with trying to find the cure. There's
Yeah.
always some underlying obsession going on in all of his movies.
Yeah.
And I can rewatch that one, but everything else that I've seen by him, I can only watch it once.
I feel like if you rewatch those movies, like you just really either hate yourself
or you just like feeling down.
Right, or like you're just a glut, like that's how you get off.
You're like a high school
sad.
goth, just like everything
I'd
is
say, man,
sadness.
like more subhuman. Like you're not a human being if you have to watch fucking Black Swan 20 times in a row to get your dick
Yeah, I
moving.
forgot that he was in
Yeah,
Black. He
just
did
forgot,
Black Swan.
I forgot Black Swan too until you
Yeah.
just said it.
Dude,
That was a good movie.
But then
I
again,
only
that
saw it
one,
once.
like the one scene where like she's tripping out and like she pulls her like cuticle back.
Yeah.
Like
God damn it.
things to do with like fingers and teeth.
Yeah.
That shit fucks me up. Like, have you ever seen Syriana?
Yes.
No.
Dude,
Yeah.
when they got Clooney like on that school desk and they start
right.
ripping his fucking
Yeah.
fingernails out with the
fuck.
pliers. Oh
Yeah.
god damn it.
Yeah, dude, that's rough. Yeah.
Dude.
No, I mean, I'm telling you, man, like, it's just, it's not just ghosts, man. Like, the thing, which kind of brings us back to Scratches, where we're like, Scratches
Good
isn't...
segue. Good segue.
Yeah, Scratches isn't about fucking ghosts or goblins or shit like that. It's about real scary shit.
It was like psychological.
Yeah, psychological.
Oh, that was the anthology that we did. It was like
Yeah.
kind of like off-kilter psychological horror that our buddy Jamie wrote 4 stories, and then myself, I can't talk. I drew one, Leo drew one, Jamie drew one, and this guy Angel that is a part of our artist friend group drew the other one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet Angel.
Sweet
Angel.
Just a
Heaven's Angel.
Just a tight body on that guy.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
That's awesome.
bounce a quarter off that ass.
Ooh, boy.
But at any rate, so it was how do you describe it? It's a horror anthology because we're all big fans of horror.
Yeah.
And like the story I drew had like it was kind of like a guy's internal monologue as you walk through his house and you kind of like questioning whether he was seeing things or not.
Mm-hmm.
Leo's was about like some bullshit.
Dude, can I tell you?
read his.
Can I tell you?
I don't really like Leo's art.
Wait,
so.
can I tell you a quick story about mine?
Oh yeah.
Really weird.
Yeah.
So, we did that like 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
So, maybe like last week or the week before, I went over to a friend's house and she wanted to smoke some weed, and we smoked some weed, and we're sitting in her car, and so she lives right by a forest preserve.
Oh, okay.
So we went into the forest preserve, we smoked a little weed, and we came out, and we're sitting in her car, and the view into the forest preserve looked like the last scene I drew for where the kid's going into like the woods. But you know how I drew like a monster in there too?
Yeah.
There were these 2 like stop sign things that looked like 2 red eyes glowing. And I was really
Oh, fuck
big.
that, dude.
And I started thinking, I'm like, my life has come full circle. And I was like, this is where I should have. And I thought, like, maybe I should just go into the forest and never come out.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. But then, I was like, oh, I want Skittles.
Yeah. Skittles would be good.
Yeah.
Skittles.
I've told my wife, not to get off topic again, I told my wife that...
Dude, this is like the podcast, like, it's okay to completely go off the rails.
No, but, okay, even if that's true, I will constantly apologize because I am a gentleman. But
is that why you apologize? Not because you just something's wrong with you?
Oh, it might be that too. But no, I tell my wife like when we're looking for a house, in the future and stuff, like no matter how much it might appeal to us, how good the deal is, I can't live on the edge of the woods.
Right.
Because I will always wonder
What's in
about
there?
like I've told her, like, okay, this is just going to sound stupid, but, like, yes, the more realistic thing is you're right on the edge of the woods. That's where, like, the creepers, like the thugs, the nasty people are going to come to steal you.
Yeah.
Or steal you, but rob you. But the real thing is I would be terrified to look out the window and see something beckoning me into the woods, like a woman in white.
But, dude, it's always the treasure trove of porn, though, that's hidden in the woods.
No, man, that was in the 80s,
that's
dude.
That's
the porn's on your phone now.
Dude, that's what's luring you into the woods, man. The real horrors, you're right, Lennon. The real horrors are what's in the fucking woods.
Right, you don't know what's in the woods.
Elemental forces left behind by the Native Americans and or before them, whatever spirits are still roaming there, man. Because we don't fucking know.
No, that's true, man, because everyone likes to think that we've got everything locked down in our super technological world, but we're only ever just a few minutes away from fucking chaos and the great unknown and the darkness that we evolved in.
What if you were to walk into a fucking like some kind of like a black hole or a portal in there that just makes you keep going in circles?
Dude, well, that's not even a black hole.
Like a wormhole.
You're taking it too far. There's not going to be a fucking wormhole. But what could happen is you walk into the woods, and then there's some kind of mystical shroud on you.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
and then, you can't get out. Like, you think you're walking straight, but you're really walking in circles. Yeah. I don't know what happens next. It depends what movie you're in. But, like, you get Blair Witched, basically.
No, I mean, that's true, man. I mean...
That's why I can't live on the edge of the woods, man.
Yeah. No, I would be afraid also, not only of that, but of the spirits that would be inhabiting the woods,
Sure.
that protect it from the loggers or whatever.
Well, and from like the Anglos and
Right.
and shit.
Yeah,
and
and
then
then
you gotta watch out for them white people, man.
And then a lot of dark things have happened in the woods where like a lot of bad energy is still left in there.
Sure, man.
Like all the people that have been like dragged in the woods and like killed or raped and shit like that.
Dude, and like even like one time I went for a hike in the woods and I went off the trail and then I had like diarrhea.
That's a lot of bad energy.
I just left it there, man.
Oh,
dude,
God.
I was in Colorado one time hiking with my brother-in-law and my wife and my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
Got to the peak of where we were. Got a fucking migraine, dude.
Yeah.
Woods, no,
That's
man.
because the woods were trying to suck the fucking the life out of you,
dude.
Like what you thought was a migraine was probably really like an Indian witch spirit fucking sticking its tongue in your ear.
Dude, I mean, even look at it.
Skull fucking you, like fuck you, Robin Hood.
Right. Well, even then, like if you think about like Lord of the Rings, dude, the woods took out all of the orcs.
Right.
Like all of, and like captured Sauron.
We have business with the orcs tonight.
Yeah.
Right.
Was that your?
I don't know what voice
that was. Kind of like Bane.
Yeah. People of Gotham, courts will be convened.
Fuck, man. Yeah, so I mean, I saw that and it kind of freaked me out.
rises, brother.
Fucking, it freaked me out, but I would not want to live next to the woods.
See, it's weird. I don't mind living next to the woods because I spent a lot of time camping as a kid.
Sure.
Oh,
but I couldn't live next to a cemetery.
See, I lived across the street from a cemetery for a short amount of time. My parents divorced when I was a kid. We lived on the north side, right on Granville. It's some old cemetery. I think it's called Rosewood Cemetery.
Okay.
And I used to remember, like, when I was a kid.
Dude, that's where all them angry spirits live.
Oh, dude, yeah. And then I remember as a kid, I couldn't look out the window for the mere fact that, like, if I looked out the window and I would see like a fucking dancing like spirit or something.
Right.
And then the mist would come in too because there was a little pond. There.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you get the steam up.
Yeah.
That would have been rough as a kid.
So like I have no problem with that, but Kirsten's folks lived like in Batavia, right by the Batavia Cemetery.
Sure.
Oh, shit.
Right on 25 there. Like
Yeah.
they lived like if you hopped the fence in their backyard and walked 5 feet through that little bit of woods, bam, dead
Dude,
people.
I actually one time when I was probably like 19 or something like that. It was really embarrassing. What I tell you next is that like we went to that cemetery like on a pitch black night.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like, and this was like pre-cell phone, so we had very little light. You know.
Oh, for sure.
And
well,
we
shit,
weren't,
they didn't even have lights on cell phones
Right.
until about 5 years ago.
Right. You know, so it's like fucking. I don't even know what we were drunk or whatever. And my friend lived close to there. We walked over there, and it wasn't even to be like spooky. It was just because we were bored.
Right.
And we walked over there. But the thing was, it was so dark, and I'm such a fucking weak ass bitch
You were, huh?
that I started getting freaked out.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to imagine that I was seeing things.
Holy
and I
shit.
just like I was like, it was pitch black and I couldn't see anything. And so I decided that I was surrounded by something.
Oh, man.
And I just like let loose like a blood curdling scream. I was just like, I couldn't see anything. And I just decided I was terrified. I was just like, ah!
And your friends are like, why are you a bitch?
Yeah.
And then later on,
Go to Funway, you little mo.
and later on, you went home and stroked your penis until ectoplasm came out of it. It's happening.
God.
Oh, Jesus.
I get scared easy.
You know what? I couldn't live next to a field, like a farmer's field.
Yeah.
I saw Children of the Corn when I was a kid, man.
See, that movie never bugged me.
I never actually saw that. That's
Really?
That's one of the ones I've never seen.
So that's a fun movie,
yeah.
and it can,
Malachi.
yeah, and there's like a really creepy little guy in it, and like, you know, it's like like the leader of the cult's like this weird little kid man. He's like a kid man. I don't even know.
It was like
Like a-
horror Logan's
yeah.
Run. Like
Yeah,
they killed all their parents and
right. And like it's a fun movie. It didn't bug me because I'm just like,
I live in the city. I don't give a shit.
yeah,
Right.
like, I just won't fuck with cornfields. You know, it don't matter to me.
Yeah. I always have these weird like, and even here sometimes like we've got a big yard and then there's there's a vacant lot behind us.
Yeah.
And even then, like, sometimes, like, I'll get up off the couch at, like, 2 a.m. after passing out watching something on Netflix. And I go to check the back doors locked, and I'm always like, is there something out back there?
Yeah.
You know, I always have this, like, weird, like when your hair perks up on the back of your neck. And
Yeah.
like, I'm going to look out there, and somebody's going to be looking back in
And
on me.
honestly, like, that's the dread we're talking about.
Yeah.
Is really, like, what... And I think Jamie really nailed it with that in that book, is that we don't have to be afraid of the actual ghosts. Just the idea of the fucking like we're alone or whatever.
Yeah,
that's why like the creepiness,
dark terror.
Yeah. That's why like I prefer horror movies where it's more that than like stabby, blood.
Right.
You know, like with did you guys see A Quiet Place?
Yes,
dude.
Yeah.
Like, that movie had me on the edge of my seat for most of the movie. It was brilliant, you know, because it wasn't stabby, blood.
Right.
You didn't even see the creatures until, like, the very end of the movie.
Well,
so,
dude, I mean, that's why I like The Witch so much. I know a lot of people like...
fucking hated that movie.
I love The Witch.
I know Jamie didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it either.
I loved it because of that.
Is it because of the old-timey talk?
No, I have no problem with old-timey talk.
Yeah.
My whole thing was like... Everybody was like, "Oh," because I think you and I don't know if we talked about it on the last podcast, but I know we interacted about it.
Maybe, yeah.
And I'm like, I just expected something different. Like, everybody was like, "This is incredible," and I'm like, what? Why is this scary? It's like the dude just kind of slowly loses his mind, and then at the end, you finally see that the witch ate a baby. I'm like,
No, man. In the end, like all this stuff is happening. The baby's gone. It got eaten by some fucking old crotchety witch. In the end, you're just like, man, maybe there is no witch, right?
Right.
For a moment, you're convinced, like, oh, the witch was the little girl the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fucking ghost starts talking. And then you're just like, well,
maybe I need to watch it again.
Oh, yeah, you gotta watch it again.
Obviously, to each their own, too, man. It's not everyone likes everything. But I would say, like, what I appreciated about that one is that, you know, it built up a good tension.
Yeah.
But I was also very prepared for the whole movie to be really mad at the end when nothing happened.
Right.
But then instead of nothing, something happened. And then I was like, cool, good.
Right.
I mean, I saw it like once. So
I think it's up on Netflix now, so I need to rewatch it.
I've seen it like 3 times already.
I
do love that
movie.
movie.
I'm all for not showing everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm all for that, but I'm also, as someone who's living in 2018, has very little time.
Right.
I really need to like not see the whole movie where nothing actually happens.
Right.
Like what's the name?
Mother?
No.
Sorry, I hated Mother.
I know you hated Mother, but Mother had like the dopest ending, man.
They fucking tore a baby apart? That was stupid.
Dude, was
spoilers! I still haven't seen it yet.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Anyway,
well, it's an Aronofsky film. I'll only watch it once anyway.
Right.
No. They Only Come at Night. Did you guys see that one?
Yeah.
No.
It was like Joel Edgerton or some bullshit actor like that I've never heard of, and fucking. It's like it's all tension, but then at the end,
no payoff.
There's no payoff, and I'm just like, I got no time for that shit, yo.
See, I felt that way about. Have you seen Creep?
Yeah, like the serial killer found footage one.
Yeah, like I'm done with.
It was kind of funny, but it was like.
Well, it was originally like we did a Netflix and chill on it, and it was originally set as a dark comedy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't find any like. I'm like, I don't know about this one. It's kind of stupid. Like, I got done watching it, and I'm like, like, okay, like, the coolest part of the whole movie was, like, the last 4 seconds at the end. And then, like, Creep 2 is out on Netflix, and I'm like, well, all right. And I watched it. It was more watchable than the first.
But it's basically just comedy.
Not really, though. The second one was, it's more drama-ish. I wouldn't say it was comedy because it was not funny,
right?
You know, but it was just like the second one. You're just like you're watching, you're just uncomfortable. It's one of those kind of movies where you're just kind of uncomfortable watching it because you're like, people act like this, and you know, you knew previously what the guy was all about from the first movie, and like you know that he's telling, you know, I don't want to spoil it because I think we might be doing another Netflix and chill about Creep 2. But like it was one of those where if you saw the first movie, the second movie plays out. And you're like, this chick has no idea what's truly going on here. You know, the other videographer that he hires. But it was actually more watchable than the first movie, I thought.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Like, I always feel like horror is such a hard thing to write. You know, like, I give a lot of credit to...
Which is funny because horror just seems like to be one of the genres that's just... so much is out there.
Yeah, because I think
a lot of
it's cheap to produce.
A lot of it's crap.
It's cheap to produce, and also I think it's really easy to write bad horror.
Yeah,
you know, and that's why I give a lot of credit. And I don't want to keep name dropping him because I hate him so much, but that's why I give a lot of credit to Jamie. He's the guy that wrote Scratches because he consistently writes really, really good horror.
Sure,
and it doesn't have to be a ghost chasing you or anything or like a witch or anything like that. It's like,
it's not cliche.
Yeah, it's like really shit that can bug you.
Right.
Like he's got one story, God of Hell, that like really really bugged all of us. And yeah, just like I can't imagine how hard it is to write really really good fucking.
Right.
I just think like even I write comics. People who are like don't know who I am. I write and draw comics, but like I would never think of myself as being a horror writer.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But basically everything that I do write is like horror with like comedy in it.
Yeah.
Like it's all just like
kind of along the lines of what Kevin Smith did with Tusk.
Yeah, actually, because like I
fucking love that movie.
Yeah, Tusk actually was surprisingly fun, good movie.
Yeah.
Probably the best of the late Kevin Smith era.
Mm-hmm.
Which I haven't seen. Yoga Hosers, I don't want.
It was fun.
Okay.
It was just one of those. If you like cheesy '80s movies, Yoga Hosers was a lot of fun.
I used to love Kevin Smith, and then like I don't want to deal with it anymore.
I still do, man. Like, did you see Red State?
Yeah,
Red State was fucking dope,
good.
dude.
Red State was good.
Good old John Goodman, man.
Yeah, being all fat and such.
Hey, man.
I love me them big fat boys.
Hey, Jane Silent Bob reboot coming out soon.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's doing a sequel to Jane Silent Bob Strike Back called Jane Silent Bob Reboot, which is basically, he's already said it's the exact same movie as Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, but just kind of smaller variances here and there.
Yeah.
Wow.
I heard that too. I just don't know if I care anymore. But
yeah.
Like,
I've been a huge follower of him, and I still listen to a bunch of his podcasts and stuff.
No,
so,
dude, that's the I never did get into listening to any of his podcasts, but like I used to like love his stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I just kind of fell out of it.
Well, you grew up, and he's still making dick and fart jokes.
Yeah.
Right.
However, we did watch Clerks not too long ago. The
animated series is great.
Just like 2 weeks ago, we were watching that.
Dude, that's still funny.
And look, I'll stand by this that if Clerks, the animated cartoon, came out right now, it would be
huge.
No,
as big.
No, it would.
What do you mean?
If it was an Adult Swim show?
Maybe.
Yeah.
We just rewatched it, though, and I was very surprised by how often they used the term faggot.
Well, yeah.
I was like, whoa, this is a...
But it was also in, 2000 when that came out, or 99?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a totally different era.
Right.
Like, dropping that and, other things was totally acceptable at the time.
Audience, please forgive me for saying the F word. Yeah. I feel so dead inside now.
No, but it's true, though. I think if that show came out now, and they had, they kind of follow the same formula, it would be as big. I know it's bold, but I think it'd be as big as Rick and Morty.
You and I disagreed on that the last time you came through, but I don't know. It would be big, though. I don't think it would be as big as Rick and Morty, but then again, all of his audience have matured and gotten older too.
Right, and I think they would have kind of like gotten writers to mature with them a little bit too.
Well, Dave Mandel, the guy who wrote most of the episodes. Like that guy's done a ton of shit since then.
I didn't even know who wrote the episode.
Yeah, Dave Mandel wrote a bunch of the stuff. He was like the executive producer, and I think he was one of the showrunners. So, but it was sad too because it only made 2 episodes on air.
Right. Yeah.
They produced 6, but only 2 made it to air.
Episode 2 and 4.
Yeah.
The clip show episode, and then the court episode.
Yeah, the courthouse.
Yeah. Previously on Clerks, which made no sense because like episode 1 never showed the way that it was supposed to. So anyway.
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
The veils in the fucking forest and shit.
But we were talking about how we made this horror anthology, so we do have some cred with that. And but now we're working on a new one that we're probably going to launch on Kickstarter in early next year.
Yeah.
Well, give me the deets when you guys get it, and I'll pump it up for you.
Absolutely, thank you. Yeah.
But
and I think like almost in the same vein, like at least also like the way I like to write things now is like my favorite horror movies are the ones like Evil Dead 2 or like Army of Darkness, where it's just like it's absurd, a lot of cool shit's happening, and there's a hero that does a bunch of dumb shit and beats up the bad guys, and that's what I like Gremlins. I love Gremlins.
Dude, Gremlins is a classic.
Right, it's a classic, but it is kind of like a horror Christmas movie.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a big Trouble in Little China fan.
There you go.
Right.
So
that's
it's the same,
barely
like, where there's
horror,
there's a larger than life hero taking on, So the story that I'm working on, which I won't give away too much here, is about. I'll probably even give away the whole plot. Doesn't matter if I give away the whole plot. You guys are gonna want to even read it anymore. It's like in my story, like God is sitting up in heaven.
You talked about this on the last time, I think.
Okay.
Oh,
He
yeah.
gets pissed off. I'm just
weak.
I'm just rehashing old stories.
No, it's all good.
Yeah. But like he gets mad.
Your story might have evolved since the last time you came.
No, it didn't. It's like God gets mad at all the abortions, and then he makes all the abortions turn into one big abortion monster. I threw in Donald Trump in there. Jeff Goldblum saves the day.
Nice.
It's like that, but that's what I like.
Yeah.
I like absurd horror, weird shit like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like for instance, there's more than this time around. I wrote 2 stories, and Leo wrote 2 stories. He's drawing one. I'm drawing one. Jamie's drawing one. Angel's drawing one. That's like the basic of the new one. Yep. But like the one that I wrote that Jamie drew was just me being as manic as possible, which is like I have like 2 modes. Like I don't think I'm technically manic depressive like clinically. But like I definitely only have highs and lows. I don't really do in between.
Right.
And like the same goes for my writing. So it's like the story that I am myself drawing is a bit more mature and it explores sad things and it's a bit more serious. But the one that I made Jamie draw is that it's about a compulsive masturbator who and I thought it was in like classic like Big, like 80s movie style where someone's got a problem and they're just like to the universe they're like, "Oh shucks, if only something would change." And then you wake up and you're like a woman or whatever. But like in my story it's like the guy's a compulsive masturbator jerking it so hard that he's bleeding out his dick. and he's like, "Oh,
Dude, we've all been there in our 20s.
Yep.
That's why I gotta use lube. But like, so he's like, "Oh,
do it dry like a man, son."
Oh universe, like please, like if only I could stop masturbating for like 2 seconds. And then he wakes up the next morning, and the universe has answered, and it's answered by transforming his dick into a leprechaun. And so, like, then it's like this odyssey of like his dick transforming into different characters from history and yelling at him, including Hitler, who's Dick Heiling and shit like this. And like, and then his whatever, no spoilers, but then it all ends.
See, I thought you were gonna say he wakes up and he has no hands.
No, that would have been.
But yeah. So like that's the kind of stuff that's gonna be in the new book, just like frenetic craziness.
Right.
Which is like I'm a big. This comic's called Product Society. We did like 6 issues of Product Society back in the day, like 2007 through 2012.
Yep.
And like the only premise of it was like to try to be as fucked up as possible.
Nice.
Because like that was the kind of comics that I always liked.
Wow.
I mean, I loved like superhero shit, but I always loved like the really weird indie comics where it's just like, whoa, what is this? Blah blah blah. So. And
I like to think that with this one we're being a little bit more like trying to stay within the same realm of weirdness.
Yeah.
Not trying to go all these different ways.
Yeah.
We're just kind of being like in the same page. But like, okay, there's a little bit of horror in there, but there's also like a lot of absurdity, and then a lot of maturity too. Like
there's some maturity.
Yeah.
Dude, one of the most fucked up comics I ever read. I was a kid. We went camping, and it was like there was a general store in town, and they had like bag of comics, kids.
Sure.
And one of them was The Haunt of Fear.
Okay.
Dude.
I thought you were gonna say mouse. Like
no,
the worst coming.
No, not worse.
Or like the most creepiest mouse.
Up. Like, and just to think, and I'm sure it had to have been a reprint from like the 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
There was no like comics code on it or anything like that. It was way back in the day, and like I just remember like there's just very little about it because I couldn't read it. Like I looked at it and I'm like trying to read it. It scared the fuck out of me.
Dude, I remember reading some of those like pulp, like horror anthology comics when I was a kid, and they were really unsettling.
They were very unsettling.
I remember reading one in an Elvira.
Elvira's House of Mystery?
Yeah, Elvira's House of Mystery.
I had one of those from one of those Walmart grab bags.
Dude. Yeah. So I read one of them on there where there was a guy who's who was like a stalker, a raper, right? And like he was having visions of his mother yelling at him.
Really?
And like there'd be, I remember one panel, and I didn't understand until I was much older because I was like 9 when I read this.
Yeah.
The mom's yelling at him like, "I want you to sleep with your hands over your blanket," and I was like, "Why?" I'm like, "Oh," and then later I'm like, "Oh, so he doesn't jag off."
Right.
This lady's fucking him up and letting him jag off. Anyway, but like in the end of the comic, like the mom. The mom's ghost
wakes up with like sticky eyes and her son standing over the bed.
No, the mom's ghost scares the guy into killing himself, and then like she saves the lady he was stalking, and then it shows like the image of ghostly mom just smiling at this woman that she killed her own son so that he wouldn't like rape.
Yeah, I think the
really
one
weird.
The one because the Haunt of Fear is like one of those anthology books.
Yeah,
and it's one that they base like Tales from the Crypt on and stuff like that. Sure. And one was like they like this family adopted this little girl and she bit the brother, and like the brother was like, this little witch tried to bite me, and then next thing you know, like the next panel or 3 pages later, she's like chewing his intestines and shit. It's like it was just unsettling for like an 8-year-old to read.
Dude, yeah. my favorites were always were Creepshow and Creepshow 2.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, those always be fun to me.
What was the most fucked up movie you watched as a child that still kind of like weird you out to this day?
Lennon.
Well, that's the thing. Like, they don't hold up,
Oh no. But when you like think about that movie that you've watched, you still get that like weird feeling. You're like, oh, that's.
Well, I definitely had like a mom who loved horror movies, and a dad who didn't, right? So like, I definitely had a lot. Like I was shown things I shouldn't have seen as a child. Right?
No, same here, dude.
And
I was
videos of your parents banging.
Dude,
watch this one.
Why is Mama crying? But
because Daddy finished on her belly. That's why he told her not to do that.
Damn it.
So like, there are 2 that I remember that fucked me up, and one of them was I just rewatched recently, and it was called The Gate.
Oh, I love that movie. I just saw it too.
I just rewatched it, and it is the cheesiest, dumbest
bad
movie. So
dude, the best scene in the whole movie is when the big monster falls down and like scatters into 1,000 little monsters.
I remember like there's like a dead worker in the walls.
Yes,
that haunted me in my childhood.
I remember that.
I just watched it like a month ago, and I'm like, that's dumb. Like, dumb.
Right.
Like, and also the part where he's like dancing with his dead mom, and then it turns out to be a
so
dog.
fucked up.
Yeah. But it's a very cheesy movie. And the other one, I don't think I've heard anyone ever know what I'm talking about, but it was called like The Woman in White or something, and it was more like a straight up like Gothic style ghost story. And what I remember about it was let's say it was like set in the 1950s or something, and again, this is cheesy garbage horror movie from the 80s, but it was about basically like this, like the little boy got locked in a cloakroom or some bullshit at school because our kids were bullying him, and this like
that's what it's the never-ending story.
Very similar to a never-ending story, except in this one when he's locked in the cloakroom, a little ghost girl appears next to him, and her ghost is locked in the cloakroom. And then the whole movie's about like this ghost mom trying to find the ghost daughter. It sounds really stupid.
I remember this.
I never saw it.
And all I know is that shit fucking terrified me. And I was probably like 6, 7 years old. I don't know why my mom let me watch this shit. And dude, I'll segue real quick. We'll get to your thing.
No, you're fine.
But
man.
You want to know that this shit fucked me up bad enough that like I remember being like 7, 8 years old and like crying in bed, like wishing I could forget all the ghost movies. Like I couldn't stop thinking about ghosts at all. And like I'll even take it darker for you guys.
Ooh, I'm excited already.
No, man. No. So like, so in periods of my life, so now my grandmother had died, right?
Yeah.
Right, a couple years before. But there was a photograph of her in the hallway, right?
Oh boy.
And I couldn't look at that. I was terrified to look at her picture because I knew she was dead. And at the same time, I also knew that there were invisible entities watching me at all fucking times.
Oh shit.
There were fucking ghosts.
Yeah.
Man. And then
you're on
grandma's watching you jerk.
By the way, you're on full vein mode right now. You got a big pulsating vein.
Shut the fuck up, dude. This makes for good podcasting. Keep going. Shut the fuck up.
No, but anyway, no. So like, what I'm saying, like, no, I'm popping off. I had 2 monsters on the way over because I'm goddamn tired. Okay. No.
You're tired. Have 2 kids. Tell me about tired.
God. So anyway, I remember. So we're talking about like 8, 9, whatever, like that. I remember knowing that there's fucking ghosts in my room, fucking staring at me. Okay? And one of them's probably my grandma. So this gets much more complicated.
Right.
Okay, wait. Okay, so I get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and I gotta run to the bathroom.
Sure.
With my eyes closed. But then a few times I was so scared to come out that
into the mic.
I was so scared to come out that I would fucking pound on the door and scream for my mom so I'd wake her up so she'd walk me back to my room so I didn't have to look at the picture of my dead grandma.
Oh man.
Yeah, but anyway, so this gets better. It's like a couple years later, I'm hitting about 11, which means young men are blossoming.
Sure,
they're starting to explore things.
Right.
I'm sorry, Jesus.
They're maybe grabbing on their rods, right? And I also was raised fairly religious, which I'm not now. So I remember like laying in bed, constantly trying like not to be groping on my dick, and fucking knowing not only was my grandma watching me in the room, like my grandma's like standing
why does your grandma have so much time on her dead hands?
I don't know. This is what was in my head, but I also fucking knew Jesus knew too,
man. Fuck. So she's reporting to Jesus what you're doing.
No, like they were both chilling in my room. like I'm in bed facing the wall, knowing that like Grandma and Jesus are standing behind me. And that like I just prayed, but then
the only thing
creepier on my dick
was if Grandma was giving Jesus a handy at the same time.
Dude.
God.
But that just really shows me how full of yourself you are, Lennon. Like Jesus has like a billion things to do, but he's gonna fucking stand in some fucking ugly fat kid's room and watch him jerk off. Go fuck yourself, man. Jesus Christ, he's got way better things to do to watch you fucking pull on your pud. At least I'd hope so. But then with the state of the world the way it is, he's probably in somebody's bedroom right now watching him jerk off while Donald Trump's fucking everything up. God damn it.
All I'm saying is I had to deal with a lot. Because I watched too many movies and went to church too many times.
God damn it.
You had a church-going mother that loved horror movies.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh, wait, one more. No. One more story, and then it can be Leo's turn. You know the other...
I wish I would have gone first, because I can't top what you're saying.
Sorry,
no,
man.
you're fine. Go.
The other movie that for some reason really fucked me up, but not to this level,
right?
Is not as good a story. But anyway, the 1990 remake of Night of the Living Dead.
Really?
Yeah, I remember
the Tom Savini one.
Yeah, the Tom Savini one. Like I remember, I'd never seen a zombie movie. I was probably like 12, so it's in that same era of masturbating. But like,
he was masturbating to the Night of the Living Dead.
I was all by myself watching that movie. And there's like this fat zombie in the beginning of the movie that like falls over a railing.
Yeah.
I was fucking terrified, all by myself. Didn't know, I'm 12. I remember just being convinced that zombie was gonna slam himself up against the window. And I got like my mom's car keys and a knife.
Right.
And then kept watching the movie, but I was just waiting for something to walk up
That's
there.
hilarious.
And I'm like, I don't know how to drive, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Right.
I was just ready to go.
Oh man.
So
they would have feasted on you, man. You wouldn't have made it out the fucking front door, dude.
So those are a few of the movies that upset me.
Man.
Mine is much shorter, but it comes with a story. Mine is everyone's traumatizing movie, which was The Exorcist. And I remember I was always interested in that movie, and the more I was interested in it, the more my mom would not let me rent it.
Really?
I remember even when I was like 7 years old, that was the video store. I'm like, Mom, can I rent this? She's like, no. And I remember she grabbed me. She's like, don't you ever watch that movie.
Wow.
Because of course we grew up extremely Catholic.
Oh, for sure.
And Latino family. So
why you gotta be Latino?
Well, because they usually worship that Jesus fellow and his mom Mary.
Wait, are you Latino?
Oh fuck!
I thought you were like
out of the bag.
I thought you were fucking Samoan, man.
No.
God damn it!
Nope. Sorry.
Gross.
We broke the rule in my house. No.
Well, please leave, sir. So I was always interested in that movie because it was taboo, right? Like we weren't supposed to watch it. So I went to Mexico for one summer. And I went with my dad at the time, and
your dad at the time was
he
not your dad?
I haven't seen the dude like 25 years, so he was my dad at the time. So we went to Mexico, and in Mexico they have video stores, but they're like in a grocery store, and it's just like a wall of like fucking movies that have been recorded from other movies.
Oh yeah, straight up bootlegs.
Straight up bootlegs. So, and I remember being like, "Hey, video store lady, can I get The Exorcist?" And I was even surprised they had it. And then she's like, does your mom know you're renting it? And I'm like, Mom's not around. I'm like, yeah, she knows. And then she's like, okay. And then she, money's money over there, man. They didn't give a fuck.
Right.
As long as I was paying for the rental.
Right.
So,
she's like, would you like some cigarettes and methamphetamine while you're at it?
Yeah. So I took it back to my aunt's house. And she lived in this small little town called El Salto, which means the leap of faith. And
see, I being a gringo, I was like, it was called the Salt.
Yeah, the Salty. And
John just
El
looked
Salto?
like a look of disgust.
I'm just like I'm for both of you, though. It's not for either one.
Right.
I'm like, oh, God, Leo's talking in his pretend Mexican accent, and you're making white people jokes. I'm like, oh, man.
So I go back to my aunt's house, pop it in, and I watch this movie.
He starts jerking off.
And it completely, like, fucks me up. Right?
Really?
Because it's everything. Like, there's, like, fucking sacrilegious things in there. There's that one part where, like they go to the church and there's, like, tits and a dick on a Virgin Mary. Remember that part? It was a really weird part in the beginning.
Fun fact, I still have yet to see The Exorcist.
No shit.
Oh,
really?
boy.
I've never seen it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then of course the whole demon
weird,
possession
man.
part.
Yeah, dude.
The whole demon possession part was extremely traumatizing for me. Extreme. The whole movie was traumatic.
Well, you know, I had psychology a couple times. Not like been through psychology, but I've been through therapy. Total different situation. But psychology classes in high school and college and whatnot. And the reason why those exorcism scenes fucked people up so bad was because the filmmakers actually used superimposition.
Yeah.
When they were filming. So, like, you would see Linda Blair's face with all the crazy makeup, but then, like, they'd take 3 frames of, like, a devil face or some kind of demonic face and flash it in there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Really?
And it's kind of like the whole thing
up.
in Fight Club where they're like,
The dick.
you didn't see it,
Mm-hmm.
but you know you saw it.
So my aunt gets home, and she catches me finishing up the movie.
Or
And
finishing up.
Or picking up, zipping up my pants. And then she freaks out. And she's like, no, why would you watch that? And she's like freaking out. And she's like doing like the fucking sign of the cross and started praying.
Damn.
And I'm freaking out because already I'm terrified at this movie, right?
Now you think you're going to hell.
It gets worse.
Oh, no.
My aunt grabs me and
Don't tell me she baptizes you.
She tells me, she's like, you weren't supposed to watch that. And I'm like, oh, I know. And then she's like, that really happens. And I'm like, huh? So then she's like, that happened to a little girl here in town. And then I was like, I'm like, oh, well, here's a story. And she's like, you've got to come with me. So we walk a few blocks, and we go to some lady's house. And then she tells the lady who owns it, she's like, this is my nephew. He did something really wrong, and I want to show him what happens when the devil gets into people. And the lady in the house, she's like, sure, go ahead. So my aunt takes me, and there's into a room, and there's a young woman, probably like either between the ages of 15 and 20, who's chained. This is a fucking true story.
Yeah.
She's fucking chained to a wall, sitting on a chair, giggling to herself. Now, as an adult, I know that she
illness.
She was mental illness, but it's a small fucking town in Mexico, and my aunt's like, and the little girl just like looks up at me, starts giggling, and I'm fucking
Jesus.
traumatized.
Jesus Christ.
And then we leave, and I'm fucking scream crying down the street. I'm like, this is the fucking end. And my aunt's like, that's what happens. That's what happens. And I'm like, why don't they do anything to her? And they're like, they've tried. They tried to do everything, but it doesn't work. No matter how many exorcisms they do on her, it doesn't work. And I'm just like, oh. So then I'd never slept from the age of that, from the age of what was it, like 9 or 10 to probably now. I'll have a random fucking nightmare about that, and it's
crazy.
Really?
And it fucked me up forever.
Fuck, man. But you know what?
I'll probably have one tonight because we're fucking talking about it.
Dude, that's really fucking dark in like reality.
Yeah.
And you know what's worse too, man,
that?
is you think she wasn't possessed, but you know who wants you to think that? The devil, man.
Right.
Right.
The devil's real, dog.
Yeah.
You ever see that movie Devil's Advocate?
Oh, I just watched it the other day. It's not a bad movie.
No, it actually held up pretty good.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's fucked up.
Keanu
though,
has
man.
to at least say, whoa, at least once in that.
He says it like 14 times.
I just feel like
It's a dark story, but
Dude,
honestly,
you know that
what's the sadder thing is that like this poor girl wasn't getting any fucking help.
No,
yeah,
she wasn't
no,
getting any,
totally, man.
mental
Like,
illness.
I'm sure she's dead by now.
Oh, yeah, hopefully.
Dude.
Because who wants to live a life like that?
Yeah. Fuck,
We can only hope that poor girl just found the sweet solace of death.
Oh.
Yeah, seriously. She started chewing her fucking limbs just to bleed
Ooh,
out.
dude, and I'm just like, man, like, that was fucked up.
But no, I remember you told me that story before because we were talking about making a comic out of it.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
it was a kind of a bummer to think about.
Yeah, it was too much of a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like either you would have had to draw her really looking possessed or really looking tarded. You know? And it's just like, let's not.
I just imagine
Next
me.
thing she's just Down syndrome's on the wall. Like, dude, that's not nice.
Yeah, I just imagine myself drawing her, like, just looking Down syndrome, and you're like, well, looking at my paper with a big cigar hanging out of your mouth, like, I need her more retarded, Perez. I need her to up the re in this one. I'm like, all right, sir.
Up the re. Oh dear.
Oh my God, that sounds like a South Park producer.
Right.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, one of the craziest ones that I recall. It was in like 86 or 87, so I was like 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
I was spending New Year's Eve with our neighbors, the kids with our neighbor kids, at our landlord's house. Okay, because the neighbors were tight with the landlords. I was tight with the neighbors. So we all went over to the landlord's house, and, like I said, I was 9 or 10, maybe 8, the youngest, but they had teenage sons. So they rented Terror Vision.
Oh, shit.
I've never seen that one.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that one's fucked up. Basically, like, the whole premise of the movie is this family gets a satellite TV, or, satellite TV system.
Yeah.
And they got, like, that massive C-band, big fucking satellite dish in the yard. And it receives a transmission from outer space, and, like, this evil alien, like, gets zapped through the satellite into the house and, like, eats people.
Oh, God.
Dude, it was the most fucked up movie I've ever seen at 8 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
And still to this day, like it fucking scared the shit out of me. Like, anytime I saw one of those, like, satellite dishes out in the middle of nowhere or in somebody's backyard, I'm like, we gotta go now. There's there's this ugly creature that's gonna eat people. Yeah. And then they had, like, this Elvira-esque character that was, like, the freak show TV person.
Yeah.
And, like the good alien comes down, and he's like, I have the plan to kill this. Well, she doesn't know the good alien from the bad alien, so she karate chops him because her hand would break, a mask that would protect him from the elements, and his fucking head explodes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's like this green alien guy, like lizard guy, and his fucking head just splatters against the inside of the mask. Fucked me up.
I remember that movie.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
It's a trippy ass
fun,
movie.
though.
Yeah,
it's very fun.
It's pretty fun, but I think I saw it again like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And then the other one, because I too had a mom that didn't necessarily enjoy horror films, but would like to go to drive-ins and get fucked up and pass out.
Ah, that's
and
fun.
then,
that's
like,
really fun.
As a kid, I'd be stuck in the backseat of the car, watching these weird-ass movies. That's how I saw the Rocky Horror Picture Show at 4 years old.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
But the other one I saw was Heavy Metal. The original Heavy Metal.
Yeah.
And the one, like, obviously, like, the chick riding the fucking thing with the big tits.
Yeah.
But the other one that, like is clear as a bell is The Sphere. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that one fucked me up as a kid. Like, I'm sitting here, like, I'm like 3 or 4, like, in my mom's Pinto watching this shit, and my mom's, like, passed out in the back seat because she had too much weed or something. Like, those were the two, like, and I don't have a big elaborate story to go along with it, but, like, those two movies just, like,
what I always appreciated about Heavy Metal was the other story where the aliens are snorting the coke. The green coke, and then the robot like bangs the chick.
Yes,
but he's got like a spinning like fucking robot finger that he bangs her with, and I'm like, that guy,
movie was
that guy
so
knows what's up.
And which is funny because didn't South Park do a take on that?
I don't know.
Like for whatever reason, they find out that the Earth is just a reality television program, and they're getting ready to cancel it. So they're going to blow up the Earth.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. So the boys get sucked up into space by like this one alien. And like she ends up like it was a shapeshifter, and they're like, well, we don't really. You're kind of freaking us out. So it's like she shaped to another form, and then she came out as Missy Elliott, and they're like, no. And he's like, well, what would make you comfortable? I don't know, a giant taco that had ice cream. And then it was just these two alien guys that were like snorting coke off each other's dicks and shit. It was hilarious.
They were like blowing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I can't believe I sucked your Slipknot.
Jeez. Then there was Heavy Metal 2. You ever see that one?
I never saw the second one, Heavy Metal 2000.
It wasn't great, but the girl was drawn as Julie Strain, and that was kind of
really.
Yeah,
she was.
Yeah,
I saw the Babe Witch Project a few times.
Oh, the Bear Wench Project.
Oh, Bear Wench
I
Project.
actually saw that too.
Yeah,
the Bear Wench Project.
Yeah.
When you buy from the porno section at like
Yeah.
FYE.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Bad. They didn't really parody Blair Witch Property at all.
But I mean, but they delivered on the Bear Wench.
Oh, indeed.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed.
There are many a Bear Wench.
watching it with some buddies.
I'd say it's better than the Blair Witch.
Oh, I think so.
Oh, yeah. Well, at least there was tits.
Yeah, especially Book of Shadows. That was a piece of shit.
Sir,
Did you ever see the
Book of
other?
Shadows gets a bad rap.
Which one?
Huh?
They did another Blair Witch recently.
Yeah, the remake or whatever. I didn't like it. Jamie and Angel.
I never saw it.
They said it was good.
So there's Blair Witch Project, Blair Witch Project 2, Book of Shadows.
Right.
Then the Blair Witch.
Real quick, it's called Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But get it right if you're gonna fucking bring it up, dude. Jesus Christ.
There was a documentary, a mockumentary they made for Sci-Fi.
Really?
I forgot what it's called. It's called like Inside the Blair Witch. No, that sounds dirty. It was like whatever. It was a mockumentary, kind of like as a stunt to kind of like further the story of the original Blair Witch.
Yeah,
the mystique of it. That one's fucking creepy.
Really?
Like a fake documentary
It's
about
a fake documentary. They got some creepy ass old lady talking about the Blair Witch. Then they're like fucking going around like the town. I think it's the same kids from the movie.
I think I know.
It's
I think I remember what you're talking about.
Footage of the documentary part.
See,
really
and like
creepy.
That whole thing, like the whole Blair Witch phenomenon that happened around that first one, like they marketed that one so perfectly until it finally got out that it was staged.
Well, they came on MTV, remember? Because they had to, because people that they
out.
knew
Why
were
did they help them?
People that they knew were getting freaked out and calling the fucking police and trying to fucking find them, because I think the producers of the movie told them like lay low for a while.
Yeah.
And they did, and they worked out too well.
Right, and they're like, dude, you saw me last week. Yeah. But you're dead, I saw you.
Right.
Dude, and seriously, still that ending was still probably one of the creepiest endings for a movie I've seen in quite some time.
The dude just staring at him.
It was a cool ending. I remember like I had found out it was fake before I saw it.
Same here.
And I saw it in the theaters when I worked at the theater, and it was a big deal. But like, I don't know why. I think in retrospect, like, because I hadn't seen a found footage horror movie before, like
nobody had. That was like the first one,
like
the first mainstream one at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I honestly don't think I could watch it again now.
Well, the shaky camera enough is just...
Yeah.
Like, I have a hard time with found footage movies anymore.
Yeah.
Like, especially after Cloverfield, like, that one was way too shaky.
There's been a lot of good ones. Well, okay, there's probably been, like, 3 good ones, but, like, out of the 50 I've fucking seen. But it's, like, and, like, it just seems like now it's, like, so... overplayed
again,
like
way cheap to produce.
I mean that's the thing.
Like that shitty Unfriended. Have
you
seen that?
No. The one where they're on Skype.
It's all movie? Skype. Yeah, the whole movie is like Skype screen
the
scraps.
whole.
Is that with Kumar or one of them, Harold?
No, there's a new movie coming out that's like that. With,
really?
With Harold.
Okay.
But it's not horror.
Oh,
it's
John
like
Cho has fallen so far.
Oh man, poor bastard.
I always hit myself in the face with a mic. Poor John Cho. Yeah. But yeah, no, dude, Unfriended was so fucking rough, man.
It was like I was like, oh, this seems like an interesting. I just broke my chair.
A lot of horrible things happening right now.
I think this room's haunted.
Oh god.
I think there's a ghost here. Let's ask our Ouija board. Yeah. Oh, great Ouija, go Luigi.
Great Luigi.
It just keeps pointing at my butthole.
Oh, great Luigi. I'm dead now.
A lot of things falling and breaking. All I keep thinking about is like, Paranormal Activity wasn't that great.
No, it wasn't. And I sat through like 4 of those fucking movies.
I watched them all too, even though like I never really liked any of them.
I wish like, so have you seen all of them?
Yeah, did you see the one with the in the L.A. or whatever? Like where?
Oh, did you see the one where like
the Mexican guys?
Camera was on a fan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
No, my whole point of that was like it was like 4 movies surrounding one family.
Yeah.
And like the coincidence there is already like it's way out of there. But like if you want to keep a secret going, like you don't keep fucking cameras around, you know.
Well, my whole thing is it's like, look, I'm watching this movie for an hour and a half to watch a bottle fall down in the background of like one scene early in the movie, and then like the guy going like, I don't know, like he gets his face into the camera. He's like, I don't know if it's recording properly. I don't know if this is the thing. And then like another hour passes, and then somebody gets sucked out of a bedroom. I'm like, this is the worst shit ever.
Oh, that's right.
Right.
I think that was like Paranormal Activity 1 through like 5.
Yeah. Right.
Somebody gets sucked out of the room, and then in the end,
the
jump scare where she like freaks out at the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
she's like possessed or something.
Or one of them stands like creepily at the side of the bed for 3.5 hours, according to the timestamp, and just stares.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. This is the worst.
I mean, who doesn't do that? I mean, I know I did that a lot.
Dude, like, especially like if you got kids, you just sit there and stare at your kids.
Yeah.
Or your wife.
Right. Stroking it, you're just staring at her for like 4 hours.
I think this is the most masturbation references we've had in such a short period.
Happen with me and Leo.
Yep.
When you have like the lower IQs like we have, it's all very visceral.
Yeah, I ain't smart.
Like, I like food, I like to fuck.
Yep.
Like that it.
Oh, man.
I ain't never learned much.
I don't learn good.
So I voted for Melania. But anyway.
Oh, man. That poor woman.
Yeah,
Talk about horror movies, man. That lady's fucking living in a real fucking horror.
At least she's living in New York away from all the insanity.
Oh, really? I thought she lived in the White House.
No.
Oh, that makes him less...
Sure they don't fuck anymore, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure he can't with fucking his mushroom dick or whatever the fuck Stormy said he had dangling in front of his...
One of the podcasts I listen to plays the sound of Mario and the Mario Brothers when he gets to the mushroom.
Oh, that's
like,
good.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any like creepy paranormal activity or paranormal things happen to yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I've had a couple here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think of a good one. Oh man, so a buddy of mine.
Like you were like, let's talk creepy shit. Don't leave us hanging, dude.
No. So a buddy of mine,
you're gonna destroy this whole room, dude.
Yeah, I know.
That's my whole premise.
We bought a Ouija board, and I know a lot of people have like these like, oh, that's not real. That's not real. I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know the answer to any of that. All I know is what happened to us is fucking real. And so, I went to his house, and he's like, oh, I've been playing this thing all day. It's not working. I don't feel the fucking devil in me. And I was like, well, I'm gonna clip it. Yeah.
Was he way fucking metal?
It's on the box.
Yeah.
I get the devil.
And I'm like, well, I'll come by and like, let's see if I can, let's see if I can wake this fucker up. So I go to his house, and while Ruben dies here.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Stay in there. He needs you to get through one more day. So I go to his house, and we're kind of like fucking with it, and like nothing's happening, and I'm like, this is dumb. It's fucking spent $20 on this fucking Ouija board, and no one's possessed. Nothing's bad's happening. This is bullshit. So then, we start yelling at it when we start fucking with it, and just like start swearing at this thing, and all of a sudden. So his TV was on, but it was on mute. And it was on mute during Bill Clinton talking about the Kosovo crisis. This was back in 97, 98.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, the sound comes on. And you're like, sure, somebody stepped in the remote, or somebody, touched the remote or something. Or sometimes TVs will go from mute to unmute.
Yep.
Well, it wasn't the TV that's volume went on. It was his stereo in his room where no one was in there. It was only my buddy and I. It was only him and I in his house. And because I remember pressing the mute button, I was like, oh, dude. I'm like, I don't think it's the TV. Because we turned off the TV, and then it was still... And he's like, it's my fucking room. So he goes into his room, and he's like, I was listening to WGCI because I like rap. I don't know why it's fucking on the news channel fucking where Bill Clinton's talking about Kosovo. And I'm like, I don't fucking know, man. And we're both looking at this board, and I'm like, and then we just both started feeling like cold. I remember I'm like, it's fucking cold, bro. And he's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I need to get the fuck out of here. So then we go out into the hallway to leave because he lives on the second floor. And as soon as I open the fucking door, I swear, I don't care if you don't believe me. I know what I saw, and I know what I went through. The fucking light came on. With no one touching the fucking switch. The light came on.
In the hallway?
In the hallway.
Okay.
To go downstairs. And then I looked at him, and I was like, did you see that? And he's like, let's get the fuck out of here. And then as we were leaving, he swears he heard a growl. So we left. We're freaking out. I'm beyond terrified. I'm like, what the fuck is gonna happen?
Right.
Just say the words, and I promise you'll see Candyman.
Right. So we went back to my house. We're sitting outside. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. And
Were you at your house or his house?
we went back to my house.
Okay.
And then I'm like, I got an idea. Who better to know any of this fucking shit? And this is the hood, but still, you can find these people anywhere. Who better to ask about any of this kind of shit than the neighborhood goth kids?
Oh,
I thought you were going to talk to like the Santeria people.
Well, I mean, we should have.
This is America. You're
So-
finding your local goth.
So
Like, look, we don't have any Haitians here.
we actually both knew, we're friends with, and I'm still friends to this day with the neighborhood goth kids. And I'm like, hey man. Then I explained to them what we did, and they're like, oh man, you fucked up, man. and I'm like, well, how do I get rid of this? And they're like, oh, you got to apologize to that thing. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you both have to apologize to it. And then I remember telling my buddy, I'm like, I don't want it anymore. And he's like, yeah, I don't think you want it either. And I'm like, so what do I do? And he's like, you have to give it away to somebody who's willing to take it, knowing that it scared the shit out of you. And I'm like, okay. So then I go to my buddy's brother. This is Juan. Juan and his brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I go to my buddy Juan. I'm like, hey, I think this is possessed. Do you want it? And he's like, yeah, sure. I don't believe in that shit. So he took it, of course. But of course, like before that, Carlos and I had to like apologize to this thing.
Yeah.
We were very, very apologetic. We were apologizing to an inanimate board, you know.
And it's embarrassing.
It was embarrassing, but I humbled myself and I apologized to it because I didn't want, you know,
the darkness.
Yeah, I didn't want to be pulled into the fucking nether realms of hell. So, you know, I remember we apologized to it, and I gave it to Juan, and I thought everything was done. And that night, I remember going to bed, and I didn't sleep for like a week, man, because like I felt like something was watching me. It was really weird.
Ugh.
But I had a bad nightmare. I had a really bad nightmare one night where I dreamt that my body was like I was like in a black abyss, right?
Okay.
And my body was like stretched out, like my skin was stretched out in the form of like the board, kind of like in a warped version of the board. And on my skin, like almost like tattoos, was the fucking lettering of the board and all that shit.
That's dark ass dreams.
And this fucking like this ghostly hand was controlling the fucking the what is it called, the planchette.
Yeah.
And I remember I woke up from that and I was like, I can't fucking ever sleep again. So I remember just smoking some fucking weed and just being like, I'll never go to sleep again. And that was it. And then
you jerked off and you went to sleep. Right.
And then, you know, the dreams became less and less.
Freaked out now, man.
The dreams became less and less. I remember I went into a spiritual shop with a friend of mine, and the guy at the spiritual shop was like, "Oh, are you having bad dreams?" And I was like, "What the fuck?" and he was like, "Oh man," he's like, "You got it bad." And he gave me a bag full of.
He gave you a mojo?
Yeah, he gave me a bag full of like some good mojo, and he's like, "Put it on your bedpost, and don't remove it from there, ever." And I'm like, "Okay," so I did that. I remember that was the first night I got a really good night's sleep. And then even after, you know,
powers of suggestion.
During and yeah, during the years I've been good, and even to this day I still kind of like, you know, do like, you know, some like, you know, spiritual stuff before I go to bed every night because I'm terrified of that. It was crazy. However, my buddy does say that ever since that happened, he would see in the corner of his eye, pale-faced forms.
He sees the Slender Man.
Looking at him and then turning away. You know, and I don't know if it still happens. Hopefully it doesn't. I think he still lives in the same place. But
move out. Burn
yeah,
the fucking
but that was fucked up.
It sounded like it fucked him up worse than you almost. If he's still like
seeing shit.
Yeah.
Imaginary or not, you know, it's
right.
It's like that Eddie Murphy bit talking about like white people going into haunted houses. Hey, baby, this place looks nice.
Right.
Out. I wonder what that is.
Yeah.
And then he talks about the black folks who went, oh, baby, I love this place. This is really beautiful. This is really nice. Get out. Sorry, too bad we can't stay.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck,
yeah.
Man.
I had a...
Oh, go,
no,
I was
go ahead.
Say, I'm always in borderline with all my beliefs, but I would say I've never ever done a Ouija board. I just never fucked with it, man. Like even. Like, I'm overall don't believe in anything, but, like, I still was like, man.
Oh, I will never fuck with one again.
Yeah, I fucked with one. The last time I really fucked with one, I was probably It was the same fucking neighbors I saw goddamn Terror Vision with.
Oh, God, those people, man.
I know.
They really fucked you up.
Dude. But yeah, we were playing with one. I was sleeping over at their house, and we were up in their older brother's attic, because that's where his bedroom was, because he was a cool kid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he had the attic bedroom, and we were playing with this fucking Ouija board, and we're like, are you good or are you evil? And it went to evil. We're like, ah! We fucking ran down the stairs. I never touched one again. Fuck that.
This is the shortest horror movie ever.
Dude, seriously. Get out. All right, gotta go.
Evil. I mean, honestly, the one that we were fucking with, whether it was good or evil or not, we were the assholes that were swearing at it.
Yeah, it does sound like you.
Yeah, that was your fault.
You kicked the hornet's nest.
In court, that board was right. You
right.
know? Like if we took that board to court,
you would have had to pay like alimony to the board.
Yeah, right.
Right. The board would have been like, fuck them.
Yeah, emotional damage to the fucking board. Like, well, I filed a motion for the board. God damn it.
Ouija's board awarded $15,000. God bless America.
You see the board walking around with a fur coat and like two hookers. Like that motherfucker.
That's a Rick and Morty episode right there.
Totally is.
God damn it.
Yeah, I remember one time camping, like I was running about in the woods, just because that's something we did. And I heard something like rustling off in the distance, and I swear to God, I saw like some rabbit-esque feature thing, like out of the corner of my eye, standing upright.
Rabbit-esque?
Rabbit-esque.
Oh, shit.
But it was totally standing upright.
Like human-sized, or... Okay.
But it was totally like, I'm late for a very important date. Like that kind of fucking... Like, I didn't see like it was if it was clothed or not. But like, it was there, and I'm like, the fuck is that?
Dude,
like,
that's dark. That's like, you either saw like... Well, obviously, you either saw nothing, or you saw a cryptid. That's like some kind of
crazy cryptozoic monster.
Yeah, that, or like, because you said you made the Alice in Wonderland thing, and it makes me think of like you fucking like accidentally, because of your childlike wonder, like we're transported to a liminal area where you somewhat entered the fairylands,
right?
And that was like some fucking
shit,
some fucking weird, some fucking like weird mystical entity that you weren't supposed to see.
Maybe the angle you were in, you saw through like the veil,
like
know?
In what did they call it in the Gunslinger series? It was a thinny.
Yeah, the thinning.
Yeah, I saw through the thinny.
That's right. And like you saw through it, and like then he saw a glimpse of that.
Right. That alternate reality.
Yeah.
Right. Where there's fucking rabbit people.
Yeah. And that's how the Bigfoots cross over, right?
Right.
through the interdimensional.
Do you guys believe in the multiverse?
Belief's a strong
Well,
word.
do you guys think that there's a possibility of a multiverse?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say that. Because, like, I do have a ghost story, but let's riff
I'm sorry. Go ahead with the ghost story.
Okay. No.
Let's write down
riff really quick.
Yeah, this gets our dicks hard, by the way.
Yeah,
the multiverse shit gets my dick hard.
Because that's the goddamn fucking thing of it. It's like, okay, so, like, I find the real problem is that, like, I neither believe nor disbelieve, okay? I don't believe anything, and I also believe everything. So that's a real... That's
you
real,
are
real,
a walking contradiction.
It's a real problem for me. But like we were talking about this recently, where it's like, okay, so if there's Bigfoot, like, well, I find it very hard to believe that there's a giant, mammal ape,
humanoid ape out there
that's just chilling. As that it's a flesh and blood creature, right? Because that doesn't make any fucking sense. We would have found that thing, fucking found its corpse, fucking ate it. We would have
exploited it already.
We would have fucked it. That's what we would have done.
But if you want to say that maybe it's some kind of mystical, spiritual creature that's coming from things beyond my understanding, like fucking alternate universes, multiverses, fucking just pocket dimensions, weird shit like that I have absolutely no basis for believing in, I'm more likely to believe that because I can always assume that I know nothing. And like, in all fucking honesty, everyone fucking thinks like, oh, this is how things are, the world. You're either a religious lunatic, or like, there's just the grand nothingness, right? Of just like, we're just meat creatures. But at the same time, I'm like, man, all y'all are fucking arrogant as fuck. Because, like, nobody knows anything, man.
Right.
And I find it very easy to believe that we could be totally just wrong about what reality is completely.
Oh, dude.
And then, yes, there's totally Bigfoots. And there's totally fucking like
reptilians.
Reptilian elite.
Yeah, those reptilians.
Well, dude, like one thing that has been bothering me lately is this crazy story about how the Hydrogen Collider fucking blew up or something, and how it we're actually in an alternate universe right now.
Right.
And
it happened. CERN?
Yeah.
CERN is where they have the Hadron Collider.
Yeah, and
that, what they say, in 2013 or 14.
Yes,
a squirrel got in there and something went wrong.
Yeah.
And we split off into an alternate timeline.
Yeah. Where now in our timeline, and it kind of makes a lot of sense, man, with everything that's been fucking happening. Like all these fucking crazy things that you never would have fucking believed. Like this fucking orange dude that used to be on fucking Dancing with the Stars or whatever the show he was on is president.
We took our kids to Boo at the zoo today.
Yeah.
And there was a dude in, how they have those inflatable, T-Rex costumes?
Yeah.
Dude was an inflatable baby Donnie.
Oh, my God, really?
Yeah, dude, it was
That's awesome.
Oh, you want to hear a really creepy story about the zoo? So there is a man that goes to Brookfield Zoo a lot, and he goes with his wife. However, his wife is not an actual human. His wife is a mannequin that's in a wheelchair.
Really?
And the people at the zoo, he's been going there every single year, but he goes a lot. And he goes so often.
He's got a season pass or something.
Yeah, he goes so often that the people at the zoo actually acknowledge the mannequin as his wife. And this has been happening for 20-something fucking years. He has a Facebook page and everything. I forgot the wife's name and the man's name. But
I assume Mike told you this?
No, Mike works at Lincoln Park Zoo.
Oh.
I know this because I saw it one time and I was like, that's creepy. And I told somebody and they're like, no, that happens too much. And my buddy of mine is a caroler. He does those old-timey caroler shits.
Lame.
Yeah, no, he's he's a loose acquaintance. I don't really know the guy. Anyway.
A dude that I knew.
Yeah. And he told me, he's like, no, he's for zoo lights or whatever. He's there every night with his fucking mannequin bride, just fucking staring at everyone.
You know what's fucking weird about that? Is it that he's a creep and a creeper, and that's why he has a mannequin that he fucks, or is it?
You automatically take it to that next level.
Yeah.
Well, why the hell?
I mean, of course.
Otherwise, it could just be really sad, and that he's got a long lost love that died, and that's just his placeholder.
I'd like to think that his real wife died, and he tried to bring her back, and he actually did succeed in putting her soul into the mannequin,
like the movie Mannequin.
Right? But he hasn't... Except that when the mannequin only comes alive, just like in the mannequin, when no one else is around.
So he's talking to her and shit when people aren't looking at her.
And he's banging her, and it's fine at home, and she's making him cookies. But as soon as he brings her out into the real world, she turns into the mannequin, and there's
bitch, why are you talking to me?
So forever he will be the crazy dude with the mannequin, but when he's at home, it's a completely okay relationship. So that's why he's okay with bringing her out in public.
The gymnastics involved in that mental picture.
I was going to say, or what could be worse is, I believe it was Mannequin 2 that they needed the special necklace.
Oh, that's right.
And what if one of the zoo creatures ate the necklace?
Oh,
and that's why he's always going to the zoo looking for it in the shit, You know
what I always enjoyed about
bang his mannequin wife.
You know what I always enjoyed about those movies was the flamboyant African American man.
That guy was the
Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood.
That guy
Hollywood was the shit.
Yeah, was he on Designing Women as well?
I think
I never watched.
I think it was the same dude. But, dude, I know it's whatever, but this was another example of the liberal media brainwashing us to accept the gays.
Oh, dude, you're right.
As a child, I loved Hollywood.
Me too.
And it was only as an older person I was like, my God, that gentleman's a homosexual.
Right.
But,
oh my God.
Now I turned into InfoWars.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Now I don't care. These fucking frogs are gay. But anyway, no.
Will you say that they're putting stuff in the water that are making the frogs gay?
That's what Alex Jones said, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm actually saying was, I really like Hollywood. And I always remember that one time he took his sunglasses off and he had other sunglasses on.
That's right, he did that.
He was like Jim Martin from Faith No More.
Yeah, man, good old Hollywood. Hollywood's probably the reason why I don't entirely hate gays.
Entirely?
Entirely.
Just a bit.
Well, no, but seriously, that was my favorite part of the movie.
Right. Hollywood was the shit,
it was
man.
Really cool. Yeah.
Gay characters were always awesome in those movies.
And I just like how accepting he was of a man fucking a mannequin.
Hollywood don't judge.
Right. He was just like, whatever you want to do, boo, that's you. And then he just go off and fucking ride off to the sunset.
Like, look, I'm going to bang some dudes. If you want to bang a mannequin, whatever, man, I'm cool with it.
Right.
Oh,
wow. What a great message of acceptance, man.
It was.
Absolutely.
You're not going to get any judgment. The only guy that believes you of the love that you have for a fucking inanimate mannequin is a guy that drives a pink Cadillac and just fucking has an orgy of fucking like artsy banging at his fucking New York City loft.
Dude, if you were able to have an artsy banging at a New York City loft of yourself, would you not?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so
I mean, that's the dream, isn't it?
Right.
I miss those ludicrous 80s movies.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, it's weird just thinking about, like, we can look back at those movies now as, like...
Through the lens of the 2000s.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that was the 80s. But in the 80s, that was the present day, and they all thought that stuff made sense. And it's like, it never made any sense. What were you people doing?
Well, yeah.
Right. I think that's why nostalgia is so strong with people and helps them, convinces them that a really bad movie was a great movie.
Right.
Like Ghostbusters 2 is a really shitty movie. But people are so convinced that it's amazing. And I will fucking defend it till I'm dead that the all-women Ghostbusters is better than Ghostbusters 2.
I'll give you that. We just watched it again recently.
Yeah,
it's
we're just
great.
convinced that Ghostbusters 2 is better because we were fucking 5 and we had chubs for fucking Ghostbusters.
I never saw the Lady Ghostbuster.
It's really good.
It's good.
It's
Dude,
really
come
good.
on. It had the same staff basically that did Bridesmaids, and Bridesmaids was awesome.
Well, I wasn't like one of those He-Man woman haters about it.
Yeah.
It was just more of like, I didn't really care.
Right.
Like, and then my wife watched it without me, and she said it was like meh. So I was like, fuck it.
Right. But then also, like, if you've never seen Ghostbusters 2 and I showed it to you, you'd be like, this is dumb.
Sure.
You know, it's about a
Vigo.
He's like, how is a haunted painting
fucking up the whole city
a bigger threat than fucking Gozer the Gozerian?
Right.
You know, so.
But
this is the power of nostalgia, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because even like I was, I'm really big fan of Fright Night.
Mm-hmm.
Did you end up watching it?
No, we're supposed to watch it. We ended up watching Event Horizon instead.
Oh,
Dude,
Event Horizon's good, man.
No.
That's a good one.
Thank you, because Elise never saw it before, my wife, and she was not impressed.
Really?
She was like,
that's probably one of the best.
This movie sucks. She was so
Lawrence
mad
Fishburne was dope.
That's
in that.
probably one of the best like sci-fi horror movies.
Yeah,
man.
well, next to like the original Alien or Aliens.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Event
each their
Horizon's
own.
fucked up, dude. She didn't even like the fact that like it was like essentially a spaceship from like an alternate or another dimension that was like a hell dimension.
She yelled at me for a long time about how nothing in that movie made sense.
Well, it doesn't have to make
sense.
sense.
God damn it, we're not writing a dissertation.
Fucking Nightmare on Elm Street doesn't make sense. It's a guy that fucking burned in a basement. How can he get into everybody's dreams? I mean, why does he only concentrate to one neighborhood when he can affect a whole world's full of dreams?
Well, here's the thing too. Like, look, he was burned because he was a child rapist,
right.
But all he went after were teenagers.
Exactly.
Why didn't he go
that's a good
It'd be
point.
way scarier if he went after children.
Hell yeah.
Like little children.
Yeah.
But he just...
And I feel that little children would put up less of a fight in a dream.
Oh, yeah.
Like, teenagers can think of a whole bunch of, like, different kind of things. And I'm like, yeah.
Right. He definitely lost his boner for the youngins.
Or old people.
Yeah.
Old people would be... They would just give up. They'd be like,
take me! Oh, I went to sleep to die in the first place.
Right. I just hoped I wouldn't wake up.
Yeah. Oh, he's doing his service, dude. Yeah, but, like, he's only attacking, like, one neighborhood.
Oh, yeah.
Freddie
had a really limited scope for
really limited.
Elm Street.
Yeah.
It was just Elm Street.
Yeah. Really, really limited. To, like, you're right, because he was super powerful. I'd say, of, like, of the top guys, Freddy's, like, the strongest one.
Dude,
because like, everybody sleeps. We even saw that Jason falls asleep.
Dude, even in that, Freddy versus Jason, most
which
of the movie was about...
abysmal.
Most of the movie was about Freddy controlling Jason. Yeah, it was crap. We watched all the Freddy movies last year when we got to that one. I remember liking it when I saw it in the theater at the time, but I was like, this is actually... It's had some cool parts, but overall it was just a shit-ass, terrible
They could have
movie.
done so much better with it.
Yeah.
So, but like, had they had Wes Craven actually write it?
You're right.
And I don't know who wrote the original.
You know, I think the original idea would have won, which would have been, I don't know if it was the original idea, but one of the ideas was
I don't know if it was the original idea or something. I just thought.
Well, no, I mean, because the idea was kicked around of Ash versus Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, that'd be dope.
That would have been fucking dope.
I don't know if that was ever actually a thing or just like,
was
fan,
that just
fan
was that,
boners.
I heard that was rumorville for
Maybe
a bit,
it was.
and
I don't know.
They couldn't make it happen.
I don't read a lot of the Neo City sites.
But see, to me, my favorite of all the top dudes, because Michael Myers was like a mindless killing machine. He was just Jason, pretty much. I never really liked Halloween.
Dude, the first Halloween movie was dope, though.
It was cool.
For 1978, nobody'd ever seen anything like that.
I was always
before.
a Freddy and Chucky guy. I actually never was that into Jason or Michael Myers.
I thought Chucky was
fun.
because he was funny.
Yeah.
Like that whole scene where it's like, what an ugly doll. Fuck you.
Right.
Dude, that was like the best moment of the whole movie.
Yeah. I was a big Hellraiser guy. Pinhead was always my dude.
See, I want to start watching those, but I
You
don't
ever
want to
seen
buy them. No.
They're on.
A couple of them are on Netflix.
Yeah, but if I'm going to watch them, I want to start from 1.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think one's on
1 and
Netflix.
2 are on there.
Because I remember watching it when I was
Honestly,
a kid, and the kid was and the guy was fucking with the cube, and the hooks came out, and
yes.
I had to change the channel, dude. I was freaked the fuck out.
The first 2 are really, really good.
Yeah, and the
The
rest
rest
are
of
probably
them
dog
are
shit.
really bad.
Oh,
But you know the premise of it. I won't spoil anything for you.
It was like some weird. Well, I was reading on IMDb. It was like some weird sex cult or some shit.
So like this dude, the one of the dudes in the movie, he's such like a glutton for like sex and weird sex shit. Like he travels the entire globe to find like the utmost secrets of banging. And when he's finally had his fill, he goes to some fucking opium den in fucking the Orient or whatever.
Yeah.
And they give him the magic box, and he solves the box, and he goes to hell, where he gets to be a part of this demon sex cult for eternity. And then finally he wants to escape, and then he escapes, and then hijinks ensue. But it's just essentially Pinhead's just the fucking the madam at the fucking demon brothel who's come back to collect this dude.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean. But it's awesome because it just has to do with fucking a dude that just couldn't get enough banging.
Interesting.
Yeah, banging led to demons.
Yeah,
that was
more
Clive
banging.
Barker's first movie.
Yeah.
I mean, he had written movies prior to that, but that was the first one that he actually directed. Because, like I said, for whatever reason, I don't know what tipped me into it, but I was just dove deep into reading up about it. So,
and it's so fucked up. And in the first one, I don't even think Pinhead's really a bad guy. He's just a dude. That's his job. His job is to be a fucking demon who runs a sex cult. Nothing wrong with it. You know, he's not trying to be a jerk and ruin entire Earth. He just wants his property back.
Yeah, he was he was in charge of running whatever circle of hell.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not all up on the lore because I think I've only seen
I'm not going to judge him for doing his job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
You know who else was just doing their job, sir? The Nazis.
True. I think Pinhead was. Did they end up in one of the movies? They ended up being his whole story was that he was a Nazi.
Really?
Yeah, one of them. I don't know if he was a Nazi or just in the war, but it got. They always get weird when they make 7 fucking movies, man.
Yeah.
Well, how many Friday the 13th movies have they made? Jesus Christ!
I always hated.
Was there a remake?
Well, there was Jason X. I think was the last.
I think
of the
that was
original
Look,
line.
I hated all the Jason movies, but Jason X was fun.
Jason X
was
was
so
fun.
stupid.
Was that the one that was in space?
Yes.
Well, actually, the original Friday the 13th wasn't that bad because it wasn't Jason that was the murderer. It was his mother.
Yeah.
She flipped.
Yeah.
You know. Did you guys see the remake of Friday the 13th? No. The remake of Nightmare on Elm Street with Rorschach.
Yeah.
No.
I wasn't really into it.
Really?
Is he a diddler in that one too?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's they leaned in on the diddling.
That's good.
I'll tell you know what it wasn't actually overall bad, but it was actually I'd say just it was really hard to take anyone else being Freddy Krueger.
That's not Robert Englund.
And I like Rorschach, whatever his real name is.
Jackie Earl Haley.
His name is Rorschach, but
even when he was in the Bad News Bears, he was Rorschach.
Poor bastard.
I just I like him. He had but I looked at him. I didn't see Freddy. I just saw some.
You saw Rorschach.
I saw Rorschach banging kids.
Ew.
Oh, it got quiet after the child molestation part. Do you want to hear? I got that ghost story still.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Wait, did you have any other?
No,
thoughts?
we were talking about the multiverse before we dove into everything else. Did we exhaust that point?
We can probably go on for hours.
Everything, man.
You know who came up with the concept of the multiverse?
Physicist guy?
Yes. But that physicist, his son, was E from the Eels.
Oh.
The band from the... Well, they're still pretty active, but... Yeah.
That's the elites for you.
Yeah.
They're all related.
Right? And all their names start with E. God.
Oh, I never noticed that before. But I'm going to assume it's true. But, oh, my God. Oh,
Sorry. I want to hear your ghost story.
Yeah, yeah, and then I'm sure that'll keep us going. The tiredness. Oh no, I'm just joking. All right. So here's my ghost story. I have a couple, but here's like the one that always bothered me for reals. Like so when I was about 14 or 15, we went on a family road trip up to Wisconsin, right? And we were coming back towards Illinois after going on a camping trip or whatever the fuck. And my parents suck, so like basically anytime they see the preface to the story is my parents blow. Road trips with them suck because they like to make 1,000 stops, right?
Dude, you gotta stop at all the roadsides.
So like,
I'm torturing my kids with that when I get older.
Oh man, like,
and then they'll hate you like he hates his parents, and it'll be full circle.
Exactly. Like fucking. So there's like some antique store that we drive by, right? My mom's like, we gotta stop at the antique store.
No, I'm never stopping at an antique store.
Oh man,
well, they won't hate you as much.
That's my life. It was like. We gotta stop at antique stores for my mom, and we gotta stop at like swap meets for my dad.
I can handle a swap meet.
Yeah. You think you can, but when all they have is car parts. Anyway, I don't care about car parts, so my whole existence was looking at car parts. So anyway, we stop at this antique store, right? Now this place was kind of cool. It was an old building, old house, and it must have been a bar or something at some point because it had a bar, but a parlor style bar. Where there was like the big mirror behind the parlor, like old timey as fuck. And the lady running the place, she was serving ice cream out of there. So that was the shit, actually. We were going to get some ice cream. My mom can look at old furniture. And I walked around with my mom because I was hoping to find some long boxes, see if there's any comic books. But of course there weren't. And so I got bored and I walked over to the ice cream parlor part. And I sat down at the bar. Got an ice cream cone. And I'm sitting there, eating my ice cream, and fucking my mom is like walking back from the back of the building towards us. And as my mom walks behind me, like I look up in the mirror that's behind the bar, and as she walks behind me, I see a little boy walking behind her for like a split second. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I turn around, and it's just my mom. But I know that I saw this little like blonde-haired boy in like overalls walking behind her, and it was only for a fucking second. But I was like the hair stood up on the back of my neck. I'm like, what the fuck was that? And I didn't say anything at first, and then we left and we got in the car, and that's when I said something to my mom and dad and my brother. I was just like, I like saw a little boy walking behind you, Mom, in the mirror. And my dad and my brother just started like making fun of me, and like my dad's like, I bet if we turned around and went back, all the windows would be boarded up. It's like, ooh, spooky.
John, you little piece of shit.
Yeah.
And of course they turned around and all the windows were boarded up.
Right.
They never went there.
And my mom was like, oh, it's probably just my guardian angel, some bullshit like that.
Ugh.
Yeah. So like, and it's something that really bothered me. I never stopped thinking about it, right? So
you Googled that shit when Google happened, huh?
No, but
it's like, no, stupid.
No, I don't know what town it was in or anything, but I know that I saw a human walking behind my mom in this mirror that wasn't there, and it wasn't like the light, or fucking dust or something, and so I'd say probably like a year or so later, I remember I was a little bit older, and I was hanging out with my mom, and I must have been thinking about it again, and I brought it up. I'm like, Mom, do you remember that fucking, bullshit where I saw a little kid walking behind you, Mom? I'm sure I didn't say it like that. And I brought it back up to her, and she's like, oh yeah, I remember that. And I was like, what do you think? Do you think that place was haunted? And she's like, no, I told you then, like, it's my guardian angel, like, you said it was a little boy, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I've always seen that little boy ever since I was a little girl. He's always around. He follows me around. He looks out for me, And my mom always told me he was my guardian angel. And I'm like, oh. And like, so...
Dude, does your mom have like a twin that she absorbed?
Maybe,
That would be a way better story.
Right. Well, that's a fucking thing. So, like, that's the thing is, like, so... If anyone told me that story, I'd be like, cool, creepy story, whatever. I don't know. But the fact that like it happened to me, where I know I saw something.
Well, then your mom validating it.
My mom's goofy late, like she's an airhead, but she's not like a faux psychic medium or some bullshit.
Right.
She's not like psychotic, and it's like. If it was your personal relationships with your mother's, but like
I don't know your personal relationship with Jesus.
Yeah, but it's like but if it was your mom telling you,
our relationship was purely sexual.
Yeah. Fuck. Woo! That's nice. I seen them titties on your mom.
Yep, damn straight.
But anyway,
it got dark really quick.
Yeah, so yes, because my mom told me that, like, that shit fucked me up, and so like I definitely over the years have had more conversations with my mom about that shit, and like I really don't want to believe her,
right?
But it's also my mom, and she never ever brings the shit up,
right?
Like, but if you ask, like, she'll have stories to tell, and she had a couple other things that she told me about that happened to her over the years, like she said that she saw a woman in our house, the house I grew up in. We had like a loft, on the second floor that looked down to the front hallway. And she said that she fucking came out in the loft and she looked down in front of the door and there was like this fucking dark-faced woman, like a white, like white, pale face with dark eyes. And then it was screaming at her. And I'm just like, what? Fuck are you? I'm like, well, what'd you do? Because I'm trying to get her to like, what are you talking about, Mom?
Right.
I'm like, what'd you do? She's like, well, you boys were in the basement playing Nintendo, and your father wasn't home. So I went back into bed, and I went under the blankets, and then I called your dad.
Your mom is just like every teenager or little kid ever. If I put the blankets into the invisible force field.
So, and I'm just like, Mom, and then I'm like, I remember, I'm like, part of me was like, okay, so if in like 5 or 10 years, it turns out my mom's crazy, then I'll know.
Right.
But it's like 15 years ago, and she's not. She didn't get Alzheimer's, nothing. I'm just like, damn. That's the kind of stuff that makes me like interested in the paranormal, and like where I don't totally discount people, but I also I don't have a crystal rubbing on my dick right now.
Right.
Well, I have an important question because let's say hypothetically, yes. Your mom has like this little boy ghost that follows her around. It's been following her around since she was a child. What the fuck is that motherfucker doing when your big sweaty ass dad was on top of her, fucking conceiving you and your brother? Well, that poor little ghost. Like, what if this is his hell? Like, what if he really likes your mom? Like your mom was like his childhood friend, like, or like little ghost, like. She was his ghost playmate.
He was a little Casper.
Like, he was her Casper.
He died getting kicked from a horse,
Right. And like
the olden days.
And your mom was his Wendy, and he was Casper. And then like he grows up, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so proud of Gina. She's doing so great." And then all of a sudden, this big fucking sweaty dude named Rick fucking Lennon is just
railing her,
calling out my parents' name.
Slimy fucking sweaty dick in her. And he's like, "Urgh." And then like he's just watching like a single ghost tear fall from his eye, and he's watching your dad just plow the shit out of your mom. Not once, but twice. And how many more times your parents had sex? I'd say 6 times a week in the beginning.
Oh God!
But like he just watches, and he's like I loved her, and he's crying, and like it's what an awful existence, and he has to watch because he has to watch her,
dude.
And then he's gonna haunt your dad after your mom dies.
I know, dude.
I would say that he would get to pass on once mom dies. Hopefully,
that's not. It depends how bad he was in life that he's living through that hell.
But he'll still have all those memories of your dad just like fucking on top of her, just fucking wiggling around until he came.
Poor thing is like, I saw my parents die in a tragic farming accident, but that wasn't as bad as watching.
Watching this big man just not even thrust in her, just wiggle until he came.
I'm wiggling my dick in
like I don't even imagine your dad thrusting. He just kind of like does like a fucking like a jiggle until he comes.
Oh God, man!
Now John's not gonna be able to sleep tonight. He's just gonna have that mental image in his head.
That's all I can see or think about.
God.
Jesus Christ!
And then he yells out like a car when he comes, like Mustang. Or
Would it even be that good? It'd be like Buick Regal.
Oh yeah.
Astro Man.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
It's a town and country.
I feel really bad for the ghost.
Yeah, that you raise things like points that I never thought about, and
For good reason.
maybe I'll have to ask my mom about that.
You think your mom has any videos of her and your dad boning? Maybe we can get a good
See the background.
Yeah,
see what's
maybe
going on.
Maybe it's like 3 Men and a Baby. You see the ghost in the background.
Oh God. Dude, I wonder if anyone's ever found a ghost in a porn video, because there's so many porns now,
Oh,
dude, we should Google that sometime.
we should watch a shitload
do
of
some
porn.
research.
Yeah, and we'll we'll watch a lot of porn, and then we'll just kind of check off the ones that don't have a ghost in it.
Yeah, okay. We should be able to knock that out.
You just put like
quick.
the down finger on all of them,
Right.
like the thumbs down on all of them.
Yeah,
You downvoted this one.
Yeah, I come out of my room just like fucking haggard and grave, like there's none in all the black porn for sure.
They would get up and fucking left. You see that? We're out.
What a
It's,
fucking racist.
January's going to be all trans.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Whew. So what kind of porn do you like, Ruben?
Amputee.
Oh, sure. But not full amputee, right? They have to have at least one limb left.
Yeah, like a nub.
Yeah.
Well, they gotta have a stump, you know? I mean...
I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh boy.
Wow, for once there's a lull.
Yeah.
Comics.
So what'd you think about Spider-Man 438?
I what? I didn't read it, man. Do you,
I don't even know what to... I mean, the only question that pops in my head now is Batman's dick.
Yes, I have that. I've got the book.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yes,
really?
I do.
Did you buy it knowing it had the dick in there?
No, I had
that
it
one of the-
pre-ordered prior to that. But then I didn't want to crack the spine on it, so I bought it on Comixology. Totally wiped it off before they put it up on Comixology.
No, really?
Yeah. And it's their black label. It was supposed to be the one that was more adult and blah 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 blah.
What is the story behind his dick? Why is it showing up in the book?
It was some. I saw the screen grabs of it.
It was basically he was just like he had a rough night. He was coming back to the Batcave. He was stripping down to go to bed, and it just was like the outline of his cock.
There was actually no reason for it to see his cock, but it showed his ass in the panel before.
Yeah, I mean it was just it was a study in Bruce Wayne's anatomy, I guess.
Yeah, it really was. When Elise and my wife and I were getting a tattoo recently.
You were gonna get it of Batman's cock.
Yeah.
I showed her and the tattoo artist, and they were very excited about Batman's dick,
Yeah, I mean it wasn't really like it was just just the outline. Like it wasn't even like here it is,
Right.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing because
it's Bermejo. What do you expect?
Yeah, it's true.
I'm just saying it's a weird thing because it was one, it was totally gratuitous and unnecessary, but at the same time, who fuck cares?
Right.
And the fact that they think they actually they pulled it. Like DC
they were gonna reissue it and then they decided not to reissue it with it edited.
Really?
So the copies that are out there are just the copies that are out there. They're not going to reissue issue one.
It's done now.
It's done.
Maybe.
So basically, it's just going to boost up that secondary market.
Right.
And also, you're right. Who cares? We all know that Batman has sex. He's got
a lot.
We all know that he has a dick.
Right.
It
looked like he was circumcised. So
yeah,
that's good for him.
He's a clean man.
Yeah. So I don't know I didn't know Wayne was a Jewish name. Oh, well, you learn something new every day.
You hear no one laughing at that?
Well,
fucking racist.
After all the shit that's been said tonight.
Oh man,
disgust me, man.
I'm trying to do better.
No, it's okay. I it's just one of those weird things where people get in an uproar about shit like that. It's like, you know what? Grow the fuck up.
But were they really outraged over it? Or they're like, look, you can see Batman's dick.
I feel
how amazing is that?
I don't think it was as long lasting as more of the more serious outrages these days. But there is definitely a wave of a whiny wave.
Mm-hmm.
But but at the same time where it's just who the fuck cares? Dude, I remember I had that.
Dude, you saw Dr. Manhattan's dick through 12 issues, and then the whole Dr. Manhattan comic that came out before Watchmen, cock was everywhere. Nobody gave a shit.
And there was a comic about Dr. Manhattan's cock.
Was there really?
No, I wish.
Oh.
That would be pretty cool.
There probably is
It was called
self-published book. Yeah.
Instead of Manhattan, it was Brooklyn. Dr. Brooklyn.
Dude, I remember I had that one All-Star Batman and Robin that Frank Miller did, where you could see all the swears. You know?
Oh, you had that issue?
I did.
Issue 10?
I sold it. Because,
really, I think
I
it just
treasured
said shit once, I think, in it.
No, he was dropping F-bombs and stuff in there, too. Because there was a lot of blacked out boxes, if I recall. But I eventually sold it on eBay for a couple bucks, because I needed money to get married.
That was a really bad series.
I enjoyed it.
It was...
the art was great.
Yeah,
I thought goddamn Batman. Yeah. Dude, I loved it.
I remember thinking it was fun, but it wasn't. It was like I appreciated how like crass it was, but at the same time, it was like there was story-wise there didn't seem to be much going on.
No,
so it was really. Like some Batman just torturing a small child.
Right. Which was you would have to get him to agree to do what to be a Robin for sure.
Yeah, but fuck, man,
dude.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Don't. No, sir. I would never do that to you. Just be who you want to be, man.
No, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna ask. I don't even know what I was gonna ask. Leo, what was your favorite fucking
Batcock?
Yeah, did you ever? I mean, you guys ever read a porno comic when you were a kid?
Yes.
Okay, I definitely had some weird anime porno comic that was totally about like a caveman family. Yeah. And
that was the Crudes. DreamWorks put that out a few years ago.
No, it wasn't that because it was also incestuous, and that I remember being really weirded out watching Cave Daddy fuck Cave Daughter and stuff.
Right.
But you figure back in the day, that's kind of how it happened.
Probably
had to have been.
But that was that and some of those Michael Turner Supergirl ones. I definitely spanked.
So,
dude, Michael Turner Supergirl.
That's an interesting question because I actually have a real answer for that.
Oh, cool.
Again.
Did you have the Mexican comics that they were talking about in The Watchmen? Awesome.
So, in Mexico, they do sell these comics at the newsstand called Tijuana Bibles.
Yeah.
What do we call them here? Over there, they just call them comics. And you can just,
Manga.
as a kid, there is no fucking, maturity fucking level. It's fucking Mexico.
Right.
You think they care about that shit? No. They're in fact, if you're a little kid going to the newsstand and not buying that, they're like, what are you, a gay? So I remember I would go and I'd be like, oh, I want that one because the girl's got big boobs in the cover, and I want that one because so I just get those.
Yeah.
And I'd take them back home, and I'd spill my seed, reading the Tijuana Bibles with, dudes banging chicks with big boobs, and not much of a story going on, but it was just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So it was kind of it was like porn, but not really. And then I remember one day I was like, I wonder if I can buy a porno mag from them. And I remember I did.
Yeah.
The guy just sold it to me. He did not care. He's like, it's money and you're a boy and you should be buying this anyway. It's Mexico. So
that was some OxyContin too?
Yeah, you probably. Oh, dude, you can buy anything at those fucking pharmacies over there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need no stinking prescription. Yeah, dude, you can just fucking buy anything. Man.
Well, it was which was I thought it was really funny that the whole Batcock thing went down because for Southern Bastards, which was done by Jason Aaron, Jason Latour.
Right. Yeah, I read some of those.
There was an issue where full on showed a dude fucking a chick.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I must not gotten that far in the series.
Yeah,
that's
and I'm
fun. But
that's
not Batman though.
I guess.
That's
but still,
thing.
But then again, it's an indie, I guess technically.
Right.
Even though Image is not an independent comic book.
Yeah, but it's still in the indie section in the comic book shop.
It's weird. I guess just because it's not the big two. But I saw that, I'm like, damn, they could put this in a comic. I mean, I read Sex Criminals and they don't get that graphic.
Dude, did you ever read fucking the Alan Moore Miracle Man series from the 80s?
I did not, no.
That showed a full birth, man. The crowning and everything.
In a Marvel book?
No.
Mr. Miracle, that was a DC book.
No, it wasn't either. It was some New Wave or some bullshit.
Yeah. Oh wait, Miracle Man. I'm thinking Mr. Miracle.
No, Miracle Man.
Well, it's also Alan Moore.
Yeah,
he wrote Three Little Girls.
But just the idea of
we were just talking about that not too long ago.
Lost Girls.
Three Lost Girls.
Lost Girls.
Yeah.
I own that.
Do you?
Yeah, and I'm probably on some fucking list somewhere.
I hope you are, man.
You own that or no?
Yeah, I own it too.
Okay.
but I couldn't get through it.
So,
I was fine.
I read the whole fucker.
Oh, nice. See, I don't even know if it's a good story or not.
It's not.
I didn't feel like it was in the first 10 pages, and then I wasn't. I'm like, yeah, like I don't care. These teenage girls, let's get hard off this. And then I'm like, this isn't doing anything for me.
And you're like, dude, Dorothy fucked the Tin Man. I don't get this.
Yeah, it's just like, you know.
But then there's also one. You read League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, the Black
rape scene?
Dossier.
I don't. Is that the rape scene?
I don't know if it's a rape scene, but there's a weird part in the Black Dossier where Mina Harkin and another guy go through time, and then Mina Harkin goes to the world or the island where Gulliver's Travels happens, and all the little people are like banging her and like going in her vagina. It's really weird.
No, I just remember hearing, because I never read any of them, but the old comic shop I went to out in DeKalb, the guy was like, yeah, like, there's a scene where, like, the Invisible Man gets fucking butt raped, and you don't see really anything but the trickle of blood coming out of, like, nowhere.
Oh.
So he pisses off Mr. Hyde. So Mr. Hyde rapes him to death.
Yeah.
But also in the beginning of that book, the Invisible Man actually is living in a monastery raping all the nuns.
What the fuck?
It's really
Alan Moore.
Yeah, but that's like late by Alan Moore, man. But no, I mean, I guess he's always been fucked up, but that's just crazy graphic, man.
Yeah, dude.
Something not right with that, man.
Yeah, you know.
He wrote From Hell. Have you tried to read From Hell?
It's awful.
Yeah, I actually
like the movie was way better. Like I like the artwork in it was just dog shit. And I'm not an artist, but like I'm one of those where like look, I can't draw.
Yeah.
But I know when something's dog shit, and the artwork when that was just unlookable.
Even V for Vendetta is really hard to read.
I actually enjoyed V for Vendetta though, just because like
I thought V for Vendetta the comic was better than From Hell. I liked the movie.
The movie was great,
but it's weird because I always think of like I love Alan Moore, but when I say that, I'm definitely only maybe thinking of like four
The Killing Joke,
The Watchmen, or like some of those
Swamp Thing.
Did you ever read any of those America's Best comics, like Tom Strong and Promethea?
Tom Strong,
those were dope. But like, it's not actually that much stuff that's like amazing.
Right. He's just done enough amazing stuff. To make him a legend.
That's the kind of same thing with Grant Morrison too, where it's like he's done some shit that's been like, boom, like off the rails, but most of his stuff's just okay.
Have you read The Filth?
No, is that a good one?
It's pretty cool.
He's now the current editor-in-chief of Heavy Metal Magazine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He has been for a couple of years now, yeah.
Nice.
His did you read Nameless that he did with Chris Burnham?
Yeah, that one was cool.
Fucked up,
that was
dude.
really cool. You would like that, Leo.
It's very much
esoteric.
Yeah, and it's very much in the same vein as Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you would dig
check
it.
that out.
Are you still doing your magic practices, Leo? Like the sigil with your masturbation and stuff?
You weren't supposed to talk about that.
Oh, fuck.
But
fuck,
yes,
fuck,
I am. Yeah, I mean, it happens,
You're basically mixing prosperity gospel with coming in the shape of a pentagram.
Right, but
Okay.
also like using like animal blood.
Okay.
I have to have you guys on the show more often.
What kind of animals?
Nothing like too big time. Maybe some squirrels.
Squirrels gotta be hard to catch.
Geese, dude, you got to go with the geese.
Yeah, well,
geese.
I made some traps around my house to catch the squirrels and shit like that.
Okay.
Because squirrels actually do go into my house.
Okay.
Do they really?
Yeah, I'm trying to fucking figure that out. Yeah.
Oh, seriously? Squirrels are getting in your house?
Yeah,
Oh,
so
fuck.
So now
That sucks.
So now I've developed like a fucking like saw-like puzzles for these fucking squirrels.
Do you want to play a game?
Yeah, like this one squirrel was all pissed off because I was making him get into a jar of razor blades to get the key to get his
Dude,
brother
seriously,
out.
you want to talk about like?
But you are also holding up a picture of the squirrel's wife.
Yeah. Like, you cheated on your wife, squirrel. It's like, what the fuck?
Dude, because I only saw the first Saw.
Yeah.
And I walked out like fucking disappointed as hell. Like it was just one of those movies. I'm like, the dude was on the floor.
I think that see, my problem with Saw and torture porn movies like Hostel and all that is just that's what it is.
Hostel.
And like Saw and Hostel are like these really awful attempts that American cinema has at making torture porn movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even like I enjoy the Korean ones all that much because it's just like I don't want to fucking watch 2 hours of somebody fucking cutting their fucking dick up with fucking razor blades.
I'm not
like, I don't care about that. Like,
Right.
that's not a good movie to me.
It's psychologically
Or
thrilling.
even people are like have this hard on for Syrian film.
Serbian film.
Serbian film. And I'm like, dude, who gives a like? It's just fucking torture porn.
Yeah, why do you want to see that?
Like, if you want to watch it, great, but you're not really getting anything other than like the one part where like the guy's like newborn porn, like congratulations, you fucking crossed a line.
Wait, what?
Yeah, in the beginning of the movie, like this guy.
Of the Serbian film?
Yeah, in the beginning of the movie, like there's like this like porn producer is always trying to like go deeper into like how awful he can get. So like in one room, a lady's giving birth. Somebody grabs the baby, takes it to another room, and some big dude fucking rapes the baby.
Yeah, I could never watch that.
But here's the thing, like
too much,
like
man.
It's too much, but also like it's like congratulations, like you've become more than just a trash person.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even easily offended, but then it just offends me that they're like that people are that much of a garbage person that they need to fucking see that. Like, really? Like that's what we need. Like,
yeah, I mean, even it's fictional, of course, but it's still like, okay.
Like, there's one scene apparently where the guy's banging a chick in the shower and he cuts her head off.
Yeah.
Like, because I read about it on IMDb.
And it's just
like, spent a lot of time
in the
on
movie,
IMDb.
it's just like, it's almost like he's trying to...
So you've seen it?
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
wow.
trying to put the bar up so high of being offensive that nobody wants to touch it. And I'm like, congratulations, dude, you did nothing.
Right.
You did nothing.
You just made something shocking for shocking's sake.
That's it.
Right.
And, you know, and it's just... Because even, like, what's that one movie where they killed the turtle?
Something Holocaust.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, they made that, and it's a piece of shit.
Right.
But, you know, I can at least appreciate some of, like, the artistic, you know...
Because it was an older movie, right?
Oh, yeah, it came out in the 70s or
Yeah.
something.
And I can appreciate at least somewhat of the artistic liberties they had in making that movie.
Yeah.
And it was shocking.
You still don't
fucked
need
up,
to be
sure.
fucking killing a turtle.
Right.
In real
You don't
life.
need to be doing that. Right.
But whatever.
But in Serbian film, it's almost like they're like they're like, oh, we're gonna make a movie so fucked up and so absurdly fucked up and cross so many lines that no one will ever be able to touch it because nobody's that much of a fucking piece of shit.
Because I heard that there was even investigations to see if some of the shit that went down in the movie actually happened.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
But yeah, it's just sometimes like I don't know. Like I felt like there's a new movie out called Terrifier.
Okay.
It's on Netflix, and it's like a evil clown movie.
Yeah.
And it looked good. It looked like a good trash horror movie. But I think I might be getting old actually because like. It started off decent, like the creepy clown being creepy. I'm like, yeah. But then the first kill was like, spoilers, like super graphic. And it was like, clown got a woman, got her naked, put her upside down, and then took a hacksaw and hacksawed her in half from her vagina up to her throat or whatever. And I was just like, man, I'm not in the mood for this, man.
Right.
Like, this is a bit.
You're getting soft, man.
I'm like, this is a bit much.
And that's why I appreciated it. Like, I know, like, the newer one.
The new one was dope.
Oh, it was so
I
good.
hate the people that are like, oh, it's not as good as the original. Fuck you.
Have you watched the original recently?
We watched
It
it
was
recently.
dog
Yeah,
shit.
it was crap.
Like,
How did that lady get healed from riding on a bike?
Right.
Oh, Tim Curry was amazing. Well, yeah, because he's Tim Curry.
Yeah, Tim Curry's great no matter what, you know.
But nonetheless.
And he's cool in that movie.
Yeah.
But fucking the It remake,
it was
man,
sick.
Dude, I can't wait for part 2 to come
They
out.
put so much into just the story. And
Yeah.
I'm glad they kept the kid orgy part. Not that they would put it in there, but you know, from the book. But also, like, they really, really captured like the kids' friendship and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Way more in what they did in the 2-hour movie than the other one. And also, like, how all the kids were being like terrorized by the clown. Like, I loved I loved it. And I just rewatched it like a couple of weeks ago. But also, clowns don't scare me.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole time he's like being
no.
like creepy and weird, I'm like, man, this does nothing for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I've
But
never.
Skarsgård was great as the clown, though.
Oh, yeah, it's really. Oh, I love when he bit that kid's fucking arm off.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
the best part.
They all float down here.
Right in the beginning, we get right to it. Just bites that
But I
fucking
also
kid's
like
arm
how
off.
he kind of played the clown, too, where he was like, hey, let's like, he was like all like happy and skippy like a clown would be.
Right.
Like where Tim Curry was just, I don't recall him being that like, he's all like, hey, come on down here, you know, Chuck. You know, he was very Beetlejuice about it.
Yeah, he was very drunken clown, wasn't he? Like a
Yeah.
drunken
He was
clown
like
that smoked a lot.
A weird uncle clown from Brooklyn or something.
Come over here, we all float down here. Like, I'm not following you.
boy. Blah, blah, blah,
Right,
blah.
right.
Yeah.
look at this one's ass, or whatever. I mean,
but
again,
then like
it
Skarsgård was totally like, hey, I'm gonna play this towards a kid.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, let's make it really creepy.
Right. And that's what I'm interested in seeing what part 2.
Yeah, dude.
You know, because that was always the worst part of the first.
Right.
Was the adult portion of it, because then it was a spider. Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Look,
we'll
Stephen
see
King.
What they do, you know.
It doesn't always have to be a spider.
Yeah. Like either way, even if the part 2 blows, like the first part's still good.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure it'll be better than the old one.
Well, they said it was the biggest grossing horror film of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was good. I wish I would have seen it in the theater.
Oh, you
Yeah.
didn't see it in theater?
I did not.
Oh shit.
I just love it because of the story. The story is so fucking.
Mhm.
You guys got a good feel to it, you know.
Yeah.
But,
It's got such a good mouthfeel.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, because really I don't get out to see. I get out to see like the Marvel movies and comic movies. I really don't like have a lot of time to go see.
Yeah.
And a lot of those I'm going midday because my wife's not into that shit. So I'll catch time between like appointments for work and do it then.
We have spurts where it's like, you know, if it's the bigger ones, we
Mhm.
gotta see. It was something we definitely wanted to see. But, you know, like Leo and I went and saw Justice League together because our like ladies didn't want to go, you know, and that was just depressing.
Mhm.
So
That was I had fun.
I
You were
liked it.
depressed.
no, I remember the truth now was that when I first saw it, I was just so happy it wasn't absolute garbage.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it, but I did rewatch it.
What do you guys
and
think?
It's pretty rough.
What do you guys think about Aquaman? Are you looking forward to it or
No,
really?
I'm sorry. I'm a big actual DC Comics fan.
Sure.
And I've like lost absolute faith in these movies.
Mhm.
Like, and I actually, like I said, like I just told you, like I'm like, like Justice League. Sure, it was watchable and it was okay, but I'm not gonna buy it on Blu-ray. I'm not gonna watch it maybe ever again.
Right.
And Wonder Woman was sick.
Wonder Woman was wonderful.
I've watched Batman vs Superman more than once, and like I'll still defend portions of that movie, even though
Sure.
I know it's bad. But yeah, man, Elise and I just watched the Aquaman trailer, the extended trailer, and I'm just like, no offense to everybody, I'm from the bottom of my heart, but I can just tell, man, it's gonna be gibberish. It's gonna be fucking gibberish, and yeah, there'll be some cool parts, but I don't need Aquaman is a weird biker dude.
Yeah.
There's about 18,000 CGI fish fighting each other for like, the kingdom that I don't care about.
That's why I always stop reading the comic.
Yeah, I'll still see it, but like, you know.
I don't know. I always like
not to be a bummer.
I always like the casting
damn
of
it, John.
Jason Momoa for Aquaman.
Because they cast off type.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Aquaman is like the biggest, like at least to me, because I don't read DC. I only know that he talks to fish. Is that he is just a pussy. He looks like a pussy, but Jason Momoa is like this fucking badass looking dude, and I'm like, okay, and then like, you know, he is Samoan, but like, you know, he's all Samoan and shit, and you're like, oh, he could be.
I thought he was just Hawaiian. I didn't think he was Samoan.
I don't know.
He was a Pacific Islander.
Yeah,
but he was also raised in Iowa, so I don't know how much of a badass he could really be.
Yeah, I've never looks like a badass.
I've
never
even considered that what his race was.
Yeah, well, you know, it's just like, you know, and I see that and I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like all that, like that. He's a cool looking dude, and I think
He's a sexy man.
He's the best Aquaman they could have put forth, at least in types of look. No. Where somebody who's not intimidating, it looks intimidating. You know, and so I always like them. The movie, I don't really care either way. I'll watch it maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it. I'm just saying, as a diehard DC fan, I've laid down and died and just said, Marvel, you won.
Right. And you know me, I'm a Marvel guy, so like anything they've done is pretty much like they've fucking even fucking Venom is better than fucking Batman versus Superman.
Did you actually see Venom?
I did see Venom.
I heard it was okay.
It was a fun movie. I went in with like the lowest of lowest expectations, and it exceeded those lowest expectations by just being watchable.
It makes me feel like it's gonna be bad when I watch it.
Oh, it's awful.
Okay.
Like, you know, in reality, like it's awful, but it's fun awful.
So was it better than the Topher Grace Venom?
Here's the thing, man. Like,
oh boy.
So what Venom does is actually, it actually like Tom Hardy is not a good actor. It
really?
actually so like. what's the word I'm looking for? It not exploits him. It fucking like it shows you Tom Hardy for who he really is, which is just an actor who can grunt, look at the camera wide-eyed, and have more of a facial expression, act through facial expressions instead of actually being a good actor. Because in the movie he's like, I'm journalist Eddie Brock, and this is what I'm doing, and it's just like a weird accent. Like, I don't know if it's a New York accent or what, but like he's got like a really bad accent, and he's trying to convince you that he's a journalist, and in reality, no journalist sounds like they're forcing themselves to talk.
Right.
And it's really, it just shows him how shitty of an actor he is, and that's upsetting for him.
That's weird, but yeah, I guess I can't really. I just think of Mad Max or whatever, and I'm like, oh, well, he's a good actor, but they're like, he didn't really do any talk in that movie.
No, he said like 3 things.
Right?
He's like, water. Immortan Joe. Man. Yeah. But yeah, I am. Ruben just walked out of the room right now.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
This is weird, but
I don't think we're supposed to say that, but I'm saying it.
Yeah. He told us to all be quiet. Well, fuck you, man. I'm fucking tired, man.
Yeah.
You know he's recording this shit. It's like 11:24, man. I'm done. I'm tapped out, dog. I gotta get up and go to work.
Yeah, no, I gotta be up at 5.
Yeah, but that's okay. Now that Ruben's out of the room, we should talk about what a bitch he is.
Yeah, and the weird sexual things he made us do before we came into the basement.
I know. I can still feel.
I can still
fingers on me.
Yeah, I can still taste the butteriness of him, which I'm not so upset by it, but I didn't expect him to taste not only that salty but bitter.
Yeah. Do you think his parents named him after a sandwich?
I think so. He's back.
Fucked up.
See, that's my favorite part of like having to run and take a piss and do shit like when the podcast is going and leave you guys to talk, because then like I get to listen back to it later and be like, that is hilarious.
You're like, well, we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, the last thing I heard was when I walked out was Tom Hardy's just not a good actor.
No, I was just telling him it's bad.
Really?
The movie exposed him for just the charlatan he is as a fucking actor, man.
Really?
Oh, awful. He just his accent. I don't even know what the hell he was trying to do, but like, no journalist like sounds like him. Like he was just like so. It was so forced. Like everything he did in that movie was forced. Like, oh, sorry, I have a parasite, and he was like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Wow.
Yeah, and it sounded like they kept Spider-Man good, well, and away from that movie.
They did, yeah. And it's just, but it's fun. It's fun because it's the plot isn't too fucking weird. It doesn't jump around. It's pretty simple. Boy meets symbiote, becomes Venom, beats up other Venom. That's it.
There's 2 Venoms.
Well, another symbiote.
All right.
Yeah, I just called it a Venom.
Which is not Carnage?
No.
Boo.
Yeah. So.
All right, guys. Well, it's like 11:30,
yeah,
and we all have work tomorrow morning. But dude, it's been a blast.
Yeah,
and
thanks
like
for
I
having
said,
us, man.
Dude, you guys need to come back again. This has been a hell of a lot of fun,
man. This is fun, dude.
But yeah, if you guys get your own podcast started, please let me know, and I'll help pimp the shit out of it for sure.
Absolutely.
So, but yeah, dude, thanks for coming out again. I really dig it. So, all right. So for Pop Goulash this week, I'm Ruben.
I'm John Michael Lennon.
And I'm John Michael Lennon Jr., also known as Leo Perez.
Be kind to one another.